Now over to our senior faculty member, Sri Jagennathan sir. எதுவும் ஷேர் நீங்க கேட்டுங்க சார். முதல்ல நீங்க வந்து பேசுறீங்க சார்.
அப்படியா?
ஷேருக்கு முன்னாடி
ஷேர்னா இதுக்கு முதல்ல பண்ணுமா?
சரி, நீங்க பேச தெரியாம
நீங்க பேசணும். Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So I have privilege to associate with this program. Maybe as Mr. Anand has told, for the last 2 years, we are having the online session. Earlier, we used to have only the offline. Now we are having the online session. So as he has rightly told, now the schedules have been made available to all of you. So that is lot of improvement has been done as compared to the last 2 years. Schedules have been made. The faculty's name have been given against each subject. And accordingly, the classes will be handled by the various faculties, the two or three retired faculties, along with Mr. B.V. Ravikumar, that is from our Hyderabad LD senior manager, and faculty from Hyderabad LDC. So all of us will be taking the sessions both on holidays as well as on the evenings or during the working days. Try to attend all the classes, and as he has told, it will be uploaded in the site also. Try to attend the classes as well as get benefited. So the way of my presentation is, that is, I will make available a question paper, objective type question paper. These questions have been collected from various IBPS examination conducted for the promotion of many exams in the bank, by IBPS recent exam. Based on that, the questions have been modified, taking into account the circular issued by the Canara Bank. The questions have been placed over there. So I'll give a question paper will be made uploaded in your site, and I'll also be, wherever it is required, more explanation is required, I'll be making available the PowerPoint presentation also. Through the PowerPoint presentation, the other possible questions that will be asked in the exam also will be discussed over that. This is my way of presentation. And all of you are aware, bank is coming out with various policies in a year. So this year also, a lot of policies have been brought out. So I have been assigned with the main task of discussing questions and answers on the policy related matters. So I'll also be handling the policy related matters during the major portion of my interaction with you. So with this small introduction, so we are now going to commence this session. Today, the session is on legal aspects of banking and general banking. The question paper is already uploaded. It consists of around 219 questions. In fact, I have another paper also. See, these questions are taken from the various banks promotion exam conducted by IBPS. More or less, the repetition will be there in all the exams. So kindly go through, get it updated. So that is the wish of CBOA and your general secretary is, all of you should come out as successful, and we are aspiring for promotion. You should be successful in your exam and the career as well as in personal life. With this, I am starting the session now. Screen share. Double point. Okay, stop share. So we will do PowerPoint presentation. Okay. Every press control. Full screen. Okay. Okay, friends. So we will start this session. So legal aspects and general banking. So the first few questions, there is question number 1 to question number 1. Make it question number 1 to question number, if I am correct, it is 14. Question number 1 to question number 14 is on Garnishee order. In fact, every exam, the questions are asked on Garnishee order. And another order we have is the attachment order. So we are going to go through so different types of questions, the probable questions which we'll be getting in the exam in respect of Garnishee order and attachment order. So the first question is, which is before you, who is the Garnishee in Garnishee order? So before going to these questions, I will explain to you the entire concept of Garnishee order by means of a presentation. So when you go through the presentation, you will understand the concept of Garnishee order. Then all the 14 questions you will be able to. When all the 14 questions you will be able to answer. So the questions given here are only as sample questions. So you will be able to generate more questions from the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, sir? Okay, now. Okay. Now, what is Garnishee order? I will give an example. A lends money to B. Please see the PowerPoint. A lends money to B. B has not yet repaid the money to Mr. A. A comes to know that B has deposit with a bank. That is bank, let's assume bank X. So A has lent money to B. B has not yet repaid the money. So A has come to know that B has deposits with bank B. Okay, sorry, with bank X. Now, what A will do? A will approach a court. So A will approach a court to attach the deposit of Mr. B with bank X and give the money to him. So the court will issue an order in favor of Mr. A, asking the bank to close the deposit of Mr. B and send the money to court. Court in turn will hand over the money to Mr. A. The order issued by the court in favor of Mr. A to the bank is called Garnishee order. So who issues the Garnishee order? The civil court will issue the Garnishee order. In favor of whom the order will be issued? In favor of Mr. A. So in whose favor the order is issued? In favor of Mr. A, because A has approached the bank, because A has given the money to Mr. B. B has not repaid. The person in whose favor the order is issued is called judgment creditor. So here Mr. A is the judgment creditor. The person against whom the order is issued is called judgment debtor. Here, Mr. B is the judgment debtor. Now, what is the bank now? Bank, that is, your judgment debtor is having an account with bank X. Now, what is bank X in Garnishee order? Bank X is called the Garnishee. So, who is having deposit in bank X? The judgment debtor. Okay, who is judgment debtor? B. Mr. B is the judgment debtor. Bank is having the deposit of the judgment debtor. So, you know, in the deposit, the relationship between the bank and the customer in deposit. What is the relationship? So, in the relationship between bank and customer in a deposit account is called, bank is called the debtor, customer is called the creditor. Okay, now please understand, because this question was asked last time. So here, judgment creditor is Mr. A, judgment debtor is Mr. B, and what is bank? The bank is called the Garnishee. Is there any way of telling the Garnishee in a different name? The Garnishee can also be called as judgment debtor's debtor. Okay, the question was asked. The Garnishee can also be called as judgment debtor's debtor, because the judgment debtor is having the deposit with the bank, and then the relationship between the bank and the customer in a deposit account, bank is the debtor and the depositor is the creditor. So in that case, so the order is issued in against B. So judgment debtor's debtor is the Garnishee. Okay, under which section the Garnishee order is issued? Provision is available in section 60 of the Code of Civil Procedure Act 1908, as per which courts issue the Garnishee order issued by the court. Judgment creditor, Mr. A. Judgment debtor, Mr. B. The bank where the judgment debtor, Mr. B, has the funds is called Garnishee. Garnishee is also known as the judgment debtor's debtor. Okay, this question was asked that point, that's why I'm highlighting it. Then in the Garnishee order, generally there will be two types of orders. One is order nishi and the other is order absolute. What is the difference between the two? So that is first the order will come. In that case, bank will ask whether Mr. B is, sorry, the court will ask the bank whether Mr. B is having any deposit account, please inform us. So once the order nishi comes, first what the bank is supposed to do, bank has to recover any overdues. Mr. B is having with you any overdues, not all the loan accounts. Any overdues the bank, Mr. B is having with the bank, those overdues will be recovered and the bank will inform the balance amount the court. At that juncture, bank need not close the accounts, send the money to the court. The order nishi only comes. The bank also has to inform the judgment debtor, that is Mr. B, bank's customer, that we got a order nishi and we are informed the court the balance in your account. If we get an order absolute, we will close the deposits and send the money to the court. Okay, so now it is for the judgment debtor to approach the court and get the issue resolved. Till such time, so the communication will go to the judgment debtor as well as to the court. Then order absolute. So once the court comes to know what is the balance available, so the final order will come from the court, that is called order absolute. When the order absolute comes, bank remits the amount to the court as per the order and informs the customer. If there is no amount mentioned in the order absolute, the entire credit balances in the account of the customer to be closed and credited to the court's account. Okay, so if the amount order in the Garnishee order, if the amount does not mention, the entire balance has to be credited to the court. That's what I want to tell. Okay, these questions also they will ask. If the amount is not mentioned in the order, what amount to be remitted to the court? The entire amount to be remitted to the court. Okay, sir, good. Then. So in the case of a Garnishee order, what type of relationship should be there between the bank and the customer? Bank is the debtor, customer is the creditor. That is here, B is your customer. He is the judgment debtor. So in the Garnishee order, the relationship between the bank and the customer is bank is the debtor, customer is the creditor. That is, customer is having a deposit account. Only in such type of relationship, so Garnishee order is applicable. In the case of lessor lessee, in the case of a bail or bailee, for example, in the case of a locker, Garnishee order is not applicable. In the case of safe custody article, Garnishee order is not applicable. Only where the relationship between the bank and the customer is called debtor creditor. Bank is the debtor. Bank is having the money of the judgment debtor. So bank is the debtor. The judgment debtor is the creditor. So the relationship should be debtor creditor. It should be a deposit account and it should be in credit balance. Okay, in those type of accounts only can be attached under the Garnishee order. Okay, now what is the sometimes they ask this question. What is the relationship between the bank? Bank, you know, it is a Garnishee, isn't it? What is the relationship between the bank and the court which issues the Garnishee order? So the relationship is, once the Garnishee order comes, bank keeps the money as a trustee of the court. Once the Garnishee order comes, so the relationship between the debtor, your judgment debtor is debtor creditor. But once the Garnishee order comes, what is the relationship between the bank and the court? So the bank is called the trustee and the court is called the beneficiary. So these are all the various types of questions that is possible. Okay, please note it. So the relationship with the bank and the court, which issues the Garnishee order, is bank is the trustee. It keeps the money on behalf of the court once the court order comes. And then the court is called the beneficiary. Okay. Now, the next question is, I told you only deposit accounts with credit balances can be attached under the Garnishee order. Now, my next question is, So what type of accounts in that case you can attach? For example, you have single account, you have joint accounts, you have partnership accounts, you have firms account, various types of accounts are the deposit accounts. You have a current account, you have an SB account, you have a term deposit account. So what type of accounts that can be only deposit accounts to be attached? The next question is, suppose if that is Mr. A, let us assume Mr. A is having a deposit account in his individual name. A is also having a joint account along with Mr. B. So there is a joint deposit account. The order comes in the name of A, whether there is no individual account, but joint account is there. Whether you can attach the joint account when the order comes in the name of A, that we are going to see. Please see the slide. Order is in the name of A. Joint accounts in the name of A and B cannot be attached. So, if the order is in the name of A, if we have A's account only, you can attach the A's account. If the account are in joint names, you cannot attach the order in the name of A in the joint accounts of A and B. On the other hand, order in joint names, order is in the name of A and B. Suppose A and B account is there, you attach A and B account. And you don't have A and B account, but you have A account, attach A account. So you have A and B account, you have A's account. In that case, attach A and B account and also A account. Account in the name of individuals. If the order is in the name of an individual account only can be attached. If there is a joint account, whatever may be the operation condition, the joint account cannot be attached. On the other hand, if the order is in joint name, you can attach that is joint accounts as well as if any individual accounts. Okay. Coming to proprietorship account and proprietor account, both are the same. So if the order comes in the name of the proprietorship account, attach proprietorship account as well as also the proprietor's account. If the order comes in the name of the proprietor, attach the proprietor account as well as the proprietorship account also. Vice versa, you can do. Okay, sir. Then, so SB current term deposit accounts and credit balance in OD/OCC accounts only are attachable. And one more point is also that only clear balances in these accounts are eligible for attachment. For example, there is a concept called shadow balancing in the running account, like current account and SB account. Whenever a customer is giving a check for clearing, so you are sending it to LPC or CPC, whatever it is, till it is realized it is only a shadow balance. So only clear balances in the SP current account can be attached. The shadow balance, which is sent for clearing is not yet regularized. Those balances should not be attached under the Garnishee order. Then term deposit account is also attachable. For example, when a Garnishee order is coming, you find out that there is a term deposit account in the name of the judgment debtor. So you have to attach it. You have to inform the court, but you should not prematurely close the deposit account and send the money to the court. You have to attach it. You should not allow the customer to close it before maturity. You also should not close it before maturity and send it to court. You have to wait till its maturity. Before the maturity, if the customer clears the Garnishee order, no issue for you. On the date of maturity, if order is still there and the amount is matured, you have to send the proceeds to the court. Okay. Term deposit is also attachable, but only on maturity. If the term deposit is already matured, if there is no automatic class, and if it is kept in the overdue deposit, that is also attachable. Okay. Term deposits is attachable on maturity. Term deposits is not automatic renewal. It is kept in overdue deposit. That overdue deposit also attachable, because in the overdue deposit also, the relationship between the bank and the customer is debtor creditor. Okay, sir. Good. For example, when a customer is coming and giving a SB check to you, you are debiting that is debited the SB account, debited the SB account. So that is money is not yet parted with the customer. You are debited the customer's account, but authorization is not taken place, or you are not yet called the customer for the token number. You are not given the money. At that time, a Garnishee order comes. So you have to, that is, recredit the money, and the money should go to the court. Until the proceeds are left from your end, that is, the money belongs to the court only. You should not part it with the customer. Account debited, token issued, but cash yet to be parted with. At that time, the order comes. So please cancel the debit entry and recredit it. That balance also goes to the court. Okay. Similarly, account debited. So inward clearing, somebody is debiting the inward clearing, but inward clearing return time is not at over. In that case also, you have to, that is, recredit the money to the account, and the money should go to the court only. Okay, sir. Then that we have seen. Then shadow balance we have seen. Okay. Checks sent in clearing. I told you, no, shadow balance in the account. So wherever the clearing is not yet regularized, is not attachable. Similarly, FDR is kept as collateral for a loan. So there are two types of the loans against an FDR. One, you can take FDR as a collateral and give a loan. That is called the loan against FDR as a collateral. Then FDR is taken as a prime security. Then you will give a VSL. When FDR is taken as a prime security, the loan given against the FDR is called the VSL. So if you have taken an FDR, kept in your deposit receipt, lien is marked for a loan, that FDR cannot be attached. On the other hand, if you are given a VSL where the FDR is a prime security and given a VSL, so after adjusting your liability of the VSL, the balance should go to the court. When it has to go, only after the deposit matures. In between, you should not do anything, but you have to inform the court, yes, he is having an FDR term deposit. It is maturing on so and so date. Against that, he is having a loan account, VSL account. So we will close and adjust the loan account. Balance, we will send it to you once the FDR matures. Okay, sir. Then order is not applicable on foreign branches. Similarly, order in the name of your partnership firm. You have gotten Garnishee order. The order is in the name of your partnership firm account. The firm's partnership firm's account to be attached, and the partners, if the partners are having an individual account, that account is also attachable, but not vice versa. So an order is in the name of your partner. Let's assume you are having a partnership account. You cannot attach. On the other hand, the order is in the name of your partnership account. You are having a partner's account that can be attached. Okay, then funds in the name of the deceased customer is attachable. For example, let us assume you are having a balance in the name of a deceased customer. So on that day, a person is coming for settlement of death claim. His legal heirs are coming, or the nominee is coming. At that time, Garnishee order is also coming. You should not settle the death claim in favor of the legal heirs. The money should go to the court only. On the other hand, orders in the name of insolvent person. If the order is in the name of the insolvent person, that cannot be attached. So orders in the names of the deceased person should go to the court if the balance still is there. Orders in the names of an insolvent person, because for the insolvent person, court will appoint an official receiver or official assignee. In the case of an insolvent person, the money should go to the official assigner or official receiver only. So those money cannot be attached under the Garnishee order. But in the case of a deceased person, amount lying, so when a nominee or the legal heir comes for settlement, at that time, that is Garnishee order comes, so you have to give preference only to the Garnishee order. Okay, amount deposited. So now one more point also under the Garnishee order. So the money outstanding in the depositor's account at the time of receipt of the Garnishee order only is attachable. So today, let's assume morning 11:30, when Garnishee order is coming, you check what are all the balances is having, you make a mark over there. For example, is having SB account. So 1 lakh is having, make a mark over there. Subsequent credit comes in the order account, so you need not attach. So amount available, clear balances, not shadow balance, clear balances available in the account after adjusting your overdues only can be attached. Subsequent to the order, if any credit comes in that account, you can allow the depositor to withdraw the money. Okay, that is very important. So safe deposit lockers and safe deposit articles are not attachable because the relationship with the bank and the customer is not debtor creditor. Okay, so in the Garnishee order, as I again told you, bank is called the trustee and court is called the beneficiary. With regard to the judgment debtor, bank is called the debtor, judgment debtor is called the creditor. With regard to the court, bank is called the trustee and the court is called the beneficiary. First, these are all the points developed from that is previous year's question. So then, okay, this we have seen. Now, there is another order called the attachment order. So, Garnishee order issued by a court under Civil Procedure Code 1908 we saw. So the attachment order issued by whom? By the revenue officials, income tax officials, GST officials, say that is your excise officials, etc. Okay, so I have given the difference between the two. You can go through. Authority who issues the order. So in the case of a Garnishee order, a competent court will issue the Garnishee order. In the case of an attachment order, the revenue officials will issue the attachment order. Under which act the Garnishee order is issued? Civil Procedure Code 60, Order 21, Rule 46. So, under which rule the attachment order issued? If it is income tax, it is as per section 226. Income Tax Act, section 226. Like that, various types of government authorities. Then, order issued to whom the order is issued? Garnishee order, judgment debtor. Okay, here to whom the order is issued, the income tax, assessee in default. Who is an assessee? Government has told, if the income is this much, so I am an assessee. I have to pay the income tax. So against whom the income tax order is issued? Assessee in default. I am an assessee. I have not paid the income tax. So I am called the assessee in default. So, order in the case of Garnishee order is issued against a judgment debtor. Who is a judgment debtor? In the beginning, I told you. Who are against whom the attachment order is issued? Against an assessee in default. That is, a person has to pay the GST, but he has not paid. He is called the assessee in default. Against whom the order is issued. Then, what is the relationship between the bank and the judgment debtor and the bank and the assessee in default? So, in the case of a Garnishee order, the relationship between the bank and the judgment debtor is judgment debtor's debtor. I already told you, okay, judgment debtor's debtor. In the case of an assessee in default, that is assessee in default's debtor. You know, assessee is having a deposit account with you. So, okay, so the relationship between that assessee in default and the bank is assessee in default and it is your debtor. Judgment debtor's debtor, assessee in default's debtor. Amount in order. Amount in order may or may not be mentioned. In the Garnishee order, amount in the order may or may not be mentioned. So if it is not mentioned, the entire balance you have to credit to the court. In the case of an income tax attachment order, the amount should be specifically mentioned. If the amount is not specifically mentioned, you have to ask for clarity from the income tax authorities. Then applicable amount. So in the case of a Garnishee order, clear balances at the time of the receipt of the order only to be attached. I already told you. But what about the amount in the case of an income tax attachment order? Amount of the time of order and amount received subsequently also is attachable till the order is cleared. In the case of a Garnishee order, again I repeat, amount at the time of receipt of the order only is attachable. Subsequent credits in the account is free to withdraw at any time. But in the case of an income tax attachment order or any other attachment order, not only the amount available at the time of receipt, subsequent amount also to be any credit comes, that also is attachable. Then the other differences. So joint account, order in single name. I told you there is a joint account in the name of A and B. You are having an account of A also. You are having an account of A and B also. If you receive an order in the name of A, if you are having A and B joint account, you should not attach. Whatever may be the operation condition, jointly, either or survivor, number one or survivor, former, see, that is only an operation condition. So your joint account means the money belongs to both of them. So order in the name of A and you are having a joint account in the name of A and B, you cannot attach. So on the other hand, you see the attachment order, So that is, for example, you are having an individual account in the name of Mr. A, you are having a joint account in the name of A and B. So you are having an attachment. In the attachment order, amount should be mentioned. I already told you. You are getting an attachment order in the name of Mr. A, 50,000 rupees. You are having a joint account in the name of A and B. There 1 lakh balance is there. 50,000 you are to attach. Suppose you are having a joint account ABC, proportionately 1/3 you have to attach. Maximum, what is the order has told you. Okay, so that is the main difference. These are all the few different questions asked, you should not miss it. Okay, joint account, but order is in single name. It is a joint account is not attachable. Joint account attachable on a pro rata basis. Order on partnership. Partnership account and individual accounts of the partners can be attached. Partnership, same thing. Order in the name of the partners, firm's account cannot be attached. Similarly, that is order in the name of partners, firm's account not attachable. That is here also it should be firm's account not attachable. Not I have left out over there. Firm's account not attachable. Proprietorship account, firm and proprietor, it is one and the same. Here also it is the same. Deceased. So deceased accounts, both are applicable. Insolvent, both are not applicable. Then what is the limitation period? I told you who issues the Garnishee order. It is the court. You know, the limitation period of that is before a particular date, you have to file a EP. Decree is issued by the court. Before a particular date, you have to file executive petition. Otherwise, the decree will become invalid. So what is the number of years? 12 years. So since Garnishee order is issued by the court, as per the law of limitation, within 12 years, the Garnishee order to be, otherwise it will lapse. Similarly, attachment order. You know, attachment order is issued by whom? Government. So for the government dues, law of limitation 30 years. Okay, so the next slides we are going to see that. So what is the limitation period of the Garnishee order? What is the limitation period of the attachment order? It is 12 years and 30 years. Okay, sir. Now, we'll quickly go through the questions now. The questions are made available. It is already uploaded over there. Anyone will discuss the questions. Okay, good. So you will be able to answer all the questions. So the questions are only just for you are getting a confidence in writing the exam. Please understand the concept. Understanding the concepts are more important than answering these questions. Immediately after the class, so people will ask, where is the answer? Where is the answer? Getting the answer is very simple. So 1 minute I can give to you. The idea is since you have 1.5 months more, try to practice it. So see the PowerPoint. Please hear the videos, not only my class, other senior executives and overall taking the classes, wherever get an opportunity or the materials, when you go through it, no, you'll become solid in the subject. Becoming solid in the subject is important. That is my aim always. Okay, sir. Now you see all the questions you are going to answer, the 14 questions now. That is you can bring 14 questions. Who is the Garnishee in Garnishee order? Okay. So bank in which the judgment debtor has deposit account. The bank in which judgment debtor has the deposit account. Bank in which the judgment creditor has the deposit account. Bank in which court has deposit. None of this. You know, the bank in which the judgment debtor is having the deposit is called the Garnishee. So answer is A. Answer you can very easily answer once. Then the Garnishee also known as judgment debtor's debtor. Question number 2, answer is C. Question number 2, answer is C. Very simple. The relationship between the Garnishee and the judgment debtor. Garnishee is whom? Bank. Judgment debtor. Judgment debtor is having deposit in the bank. So the relationship between the bank and the judgment debtor, the relationship between the bank and the depositor. So you know, bank is the debtor and the judgment debtor is the creditor. So question number 3, answer is B. Okay, question number 3, if you understand the concept, you can easily take. Question number 3, answer is B. The garnishee is the debtor and the judgment debtor is the creditor of the bank. Question number 4, the relationship between the garnishee and the court. I already told you, the court retains the deposit on, that is the bank retains the deposit on behalf of the court. So the garnishee, the bank is the trustee. The court is the beneficiary. The question is, the relationship between the garnishee and the court is called trustee and beneficiary. Question number 4, answer is C. Question number 5, garnishee order is in the name of Mr. S. Account is in the name of S and Y. Whether account of S and Y to be attachable? No, please do not attach it. Question number 5, answer is B. If it is an attachment order, proportionately you got to attach. Okay, answer question number 5, answer is B. Again, I am repeating. Question number 5, answer is B. Question number 6, Mr. Ramesh, please read the question. This question, once they asked, people came and told I gave this answer. So now we are going to get an explanation for this. Mr. Ramesh deposited a check at 11 a.m. for discount. Bank purchased this and allows credit to the SB account. What happens, sir? He has not come and deposited the check for collection. He has not come and deposited the check for collection. You are not sending collection. There is no concept of shadow balance. Yeah. He given a check for you for discounting. Okay. You debited some SL and credited his account. You have sent a check for clearing under that SL. When you go and click the SB account, it is a clear balance. There is no shadow balance. You are taking a credit decision to give the money to the borrower, isn't it, to the person? So you see this question, Mr. Ramesh deposited a check for 11 a.m. for discount. Bank purchased this and allows credit to the SB account. The amount was 10,000. The check was presented in clearing and yet to be realized. Okay, a garnishee order absolute. So whenever in the question paper, if they say garnishee order, you got to presume it is a that is absolute garnishee order until they mention order nishi. Okay, in the questions, whenever they say garnishee order, please keep in mind it is order absolute. Okay, so the reason I given within bracket order absolute was received in this account at 11:30 a.m. and at that time, the amount was available in the account. Yes, not yet withdrawn. Now, do not attach the amount as the check is not yet cleared. This amount to be attached. Discretion of the bank. None of the options given above. Answer is this amount to be attached. So many people will take the answer A. Only when the check is given for collection. In that case, you keep a shadow balance in the SB account or current account till the check is realized, you cannot attach. Here, the check is already realized. That means you have purchased the check, you have given credit to the customer's account. So this amount is available. Any money the customer can withdraw, no, that is attachable. Okay, sir? So people don't take the answer A, please take the answer B. Then question number 7. A and B have a joint account. A and B have a joint account. A garnishee order has been received in the name of A, which is not correct with regard to the joint account. Which is not correct. It's a negative question. Which is not correct. So in the exam question papers, first there is people who already attended, you know, wherever which is not correct, odd man, etc. will be in bold. Okay, this is a negative question, which is not correct with regard to the joint account. Order is not applicable. Question number 7. So A and B have a joint account. A garnishee order has been received in the name of A, which is not correct with regard to the joint account. Order is not applicable if it is jointly operated. Order is not applicable if it is operated severally. Order is not applicable if it is farmer or survivor account. None of these. See here, so order, A and B is having a joint account. A garnishee order has been received in the name of A, which is not correct with regard to the joint account. So which is not correct. You see, order is not applicable if it is jointly operated, whether it is correct or not. Order is not applicable if it is jointly operated account. So it is a correct statement. Order is not applicable if it is whatever may be the operation conditions So irrespective of the operation condition, so all of the points A to C, all points are correct. For example, order is not applicable if it is jointly operated account. Order is not applicable if it is operated severally. Whatever may be the operation condition, order in the name of a single account, joint account cannot be attached. So point A is correct, point B is correct, point C is also correct. Order is applicable, order is not applicable if it is a farmer or survivor. The idea I want to drive home here is individual account, joint account. Order in the name of the joint individual account. If the joint account is there, you cannot attach. So point A is correct, point B is correct, point C is correct. So none of these your correct answer. So what do you mean by none? You see, which is not correct with regard to the joint account. None of these are not correct. All are correct. Okay. So the questions also will be tricky. Questions also will not be very simple. Some questions will be straight questions. Some will be tricky questions. Which of them is not correct? All of them is not. All of them are correct. And your answer should be none of these. Answer is D. Okay. If bank fails to implement the Garnishee order, next question is, if bank fails to implement the Garnishee order, it is considered as. So Garnishee order comes in whose name? Judgment debtor. Who is judgment debtor? In our example, Mr. B. So court has told the bank, Mr. B is having 1 lakh money with you. Please remit to me. What you did? You are not implemented the Garnishee order. You allowed Mr. B to withdraw the money. Court comes to know that you allowed B to withdraw the money in spite of the Garnishee order. First, who is the judgment debtor? Mr. B is the judgment debtor. Mr. B has withdrawn the money. You are not allowed him to withdraw. Then you will become the judgment debtor. You have to pay the 1 lakh to the court. Okay. So if bank fails to implement the Garnishee order, it is considered as judgment debtor. The order will come against you now. So it is called the judgment debtor. Question number 8, answer is B. Question number 9. Garnishee order is received in the name of your customer, Mr. X. At that time, Mr. X has a clear balance of rupees 2 crores in his SB account. So I told you, whenever they mention Garnishee order, you please assume it is absolute Garnishee order until otherwise specification have come. Okay. So he is not having any liability with the bank. This order does not mention the amount. This is not a proper order. Inform the court, send the order with the amount. Take up with your circle office and inform the court. Remit the full amount to the court and inform your customer. So seek guidance from your customer as the amount is huge and the order is silent about the amount. Answer is C. So if the order does not mention the amount, the full amount to be credited to the court after giving intimation to your customer only. Okay, sir. Then next question. Question number 10. A Garnishee order was served on XYZ Bank in the account of Mr. Sachin. Okay, Mr. Sachin. Then it is an order Nishi attaching a sum of 1 lakh in the name of the customer. At the time of receipt of the order, Mr. Sachin had current account with a balance of 50,000, SB with 15,000, and OD with a debit balance of 5,000. Do not act on the order as it is only order Nishi. Take up with Orbo. Send rupees 60,000 to the court after adjusting the OD. Inform the court about the balances in the account, bank dues, and also inform Mr. Sachin. At any cost, Mr. Sachin should not be informed by the bank is that amounts to breach of trust. Once an order Nishi comes, you have to assess what is the overdues he is having, what is the deposits he is having. Then you have to inform the court. You should not simply keep the papers under your drawer. You have to inform the court. You have to inform the customer also. Point for question number 10, answer is D. For question number 10, answer is D. Question number 11. Mr. X maintains an SB account with balance of 20,000 with the nominee Mr. Y. Mr. Y. So Mr. Y is the nominee for the SB account of Mr. X. On 14/12/2021, the branch receives the notice of death of Mr. X. On 15/12/2021, a Garnishee order for rupees 15,000 is received on that account. On the same day, the nominee claims the amount also. The money is still available. I told you, in the case of a deceased person, order is applicable. Both Garnishee order and attachment order. Only in the case of an insolvent person, the orders are not attachable. Settle the full amount to the nominee. Pay 15,000 to the court. No, that is also not correct. Settle the amount in priority. No, I am not answering the question. So appropriate option is not given. The thing is, please, that is remit the money to the court. Do not settle the death claim. Okay, I have to change the options correctly. Okay, question number 12. That is B. Pay rupees 15,000 to court, and why you have to say the branch receives the notice of death, Mr. X, on 15/12/2021. A Garnishee order 15,000 is received on that account. On the same day, the nominee also claims the account. The money is still available in the account. Settle the full amount to the nominee. How much amount is having? 15,000 to the court and 5,000 to the nominee against the stamped receipt. Okay, 20,000 with the nominee, but then on the Garnishee on the same day. What's the OD overdue is given here? Then why 15,000? Okay, yes. The answer should be that is B, sir. Pay 15 because the order is only for 15,000 rupees. Pay 15,000 to the court and balance 5,000 to the nominee against the stamped receipt. So for question number 11, the answer is B. So thank you very much for correcting. Question number 11, answer is B. Question number 12. Question number 12. Find the odd man out in respect of non-attachable items under Garnishee. See the question. See the question. Find the odd man out in respect of non-attachable items under Garnishee order. What do you mean by non-attachable items? That is, find the odd man out in respect of non-attachable items. Okay, let us see the answer. Matured deposit lying in the overdue deposit. It is attachable. I already told you. Unavailed balance in ODOCC account. It is not attachable. Not attachable. Deposit of insolvent persons. Not attachable. Deposit taken as collateral for a loan. Not attachable. So your options are A, 1 to 4 all. No, not 1 to 4 all. B, 2 to 4 all. C, 1 only. So my answer for this point is C. Answer for this question is, answer is C. Say, find the odd man out in respect of non-attachable items under the Garnishee order. So find the odd man out. So that is matured deposit lying in overdue deposit. So that is attachable. Find the odd man account with regard to non-attachable. Unavailed balance in ODOCC account. It is not attachable. It is not an odd man account. You see, it is not an odd man account. That is lying in ODOCC, sorry. Unavailed balance in ODOCC, it is not attachable. It is not odd man with regard to unattachable. You got to interpret like that. Odd man with regard to unattachable. So point number 2 is not an odd man with regard to unattachable. Similarly, point number 3 is also not an odd man with regard to unattachable. They are all attachable. Point number 4, deposits taken as a collateral. It is also not an odd man out with regard to non-attachable. So 1 to 4 all, 2 to 4 all, 1 only is an odd man with regard to unattachable. Isn't it? So your answer should be point number C. If attachment order does not mention the amount, so you have to return. Attachment order does not mention the amount. You should not attach it. You have to ask the income tax authority what is the amount I have to attach. In the case of a Garnishee order, the entire amount to be attached. Last question. If bank fails to implement the attachment order, so I told you, if the bank fails to implement the Garnishee order, bank is called the judgment debtor. If the bank fails to implement the attachment order, the bank is called assessee in default. Assessee in default, there it is judgment debtor, here it is assessee in default. Okay, sir. Now, so these are the possible. Whenever in the IBBS exam, if you see, if a subject is taken, for the subject, so questions will be asked in all the cadres, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. Then depending upon that is, what do you say? The more integrity, more difficulty is pushed depending upon the different cadres. That is why 2-3 difficult questions also are given. If you understand the concept, it is very easy. People come out of the exam and tell me, sir, questions are very easy, sir, but answers are tricky. So, for example, you see the question which we saw, no, find the odd man out in respect of non-attachable items under Garnishee order. So, like that, questions will be there. Okay, friends. So you're all, I am very confident that you'll be doing it. So now we are going to the next point, different types of charges. You know, whenever bank is giving a loan, the bank is getting a charge against those items against which bank has given a loan. Now we are going to see the PowerPoint. Once you see the PowerPoint, you'll be able to answer the questions. Okay. Now you see different types of charges. So, sorry. Okay. Now, that is in the case of a land and building, it is an immovable item. The charge bank is getting is called mortgage. You know, in India, loan is given against an immovable property by putting through equitable mortgage transaction. Okay. So that is loan against an immovable property. Whenever the immovable property is taken either as a collateral or as a prime security. For example, when you give a housing loan, the immovable property is the prime security. When you give a Canara mortgage, the immovable property is a collateral security. Or when you are given MSME loan, you are taking a immovable property, it is a collateral security. Housing loan is a prime security. Whether it is a prime security as a collateral security, whenever you are giving a loan against a immovable property, the charge you are getting is called mortgage. The charge bank is getting is called mortgage. Where mortgage is defined? Mortgage is defined in section 58 of Transfer of Property Act. Okay, so you should know the few acts also. So section 58 of Transfer of Property Act. Then the book debts, you know, your balance, if you see the balance sheet, what is the book debt? The amount the customer has to receive from somebody. He has sold items on credit basis. So sundry debtors. In your balance sheet, the sundry debtors is called the receivable book debts. So the book debts is called actionable claim. LIC, loans against the LIC policy. On what basis you will give the loan against the LIC policy? On the surrender value. Okay, so again, book debts, you will give loan. Against LIC policy on the surrender value, you will give loan. Against NSC, on what basis you will give loan? On the face value. Your NSC is also like a KDR. But when you give a loan against KDR, you can take the accumulated interest also. But when you give a loan against NSC is also 5 years, 7 years. Interest is accumulated every year. But when you give a loan against NSC, you will give only on the face value. If they ask other questions, you should not leave it there. When you give a loan against the LIC policy, you will calculate the surrender value, keeping the margin, you will give the loan. And when you give a loan against fixed deposits, so you have the margin, etc., you will give the loan. So book debts, loans against LIC policies, loans against a national savings certificate, loans against fixed deposits, all these loans are called actionable claim. The charge bank is getting when they give you a loan against actionable claim is called the assignment. So where that is the assignment is defined. Assignment is defined under section 130 of Transfer of Property Act. So any question they will ask. Loans against fixed deposit. So we should not write lien over that. We are marking a lien in CBS, that's all. As per legal terms, what is the charge bank is getting when it gives you loans against book debts, that is sundry debtors. When it gives you loans against LIC policy, NSC, fixed deposits, term deposits, the charge bank is getting is called assignment. Where assignment is defined, section 130 of the Transfer of Property Act. Then loan bank use loans against movable items. There are two types of charges bank is getting against movable items. What are they? Stock. When the bank gives the loan against a stock, it gives a charge. It gets a charge. When the bank gives a loan against a vehicle, it gets a charge. Similarly, plant and machinery. Those charges are called hypothecation. You know, different types of loan documents for different types of loans. Why it is? You are getting different types of charges. Then only you can file a suit in the court of law if something goes wrong. So against movable item like stock, vehicle, and plant and machinery, the charge the bank is getting is called hypothecation. Where hypothecation is defined, this question they frequently ask. Section 2 of SARFAESI Act. Okay. Then similarly, against gold ornament. In the case of a gold ornament, the charge you are getting is called pledge. It is not hypothecation. So where pledge is defined, section 172 of Indian Contract Act. Okay, then what is the main difference between hypothecation and pledge? Okay, hypothecation and pledge. You know, the main difference is in hypothecation, both the ownership and possession is with the borrower. In the case of hypothecation, you take an hypothecation, for example, vehicle. So vehicle is with the borrower and the ownership is also in the RC book, also his name will be only there, isn't it? So in the case of hypothecation, both possession and that is ownership is with the borrower. In the case of a gold loan pledge, that is ownership is with the borrower, possession is with you. Okay, that is the main difference. One more difference is also there. Two more differences. Hypothecation, you got to do CERSAI registration. For pledge, there is no need for CERSAI registration. One more difference. Hypothecation is subject to law of limitation. Within 3 years, you have to take an AOD. But in the case of a pledge, it is not subject to law of limitation. So if they ask that question, no? So which is odd man out? Difference between hypothecation and pledge. Yeah, options A, B, C. You should be able to answer. That's why I'm explaining now, even though it's not in the slide. So movable stock vehicle plant and machinery, the charge bank is getting is called hypothecation, section 2 of the SARFAESI Act. Movable gold ornament pledge, section 172 of Indian Contract Act. Paper security, see the LIC of LIC policy, NSC, FD, they are also paper securities. But as per law, paper security shares, loans against shares, bank gives loans against the approved shares, debentures, units of mutual funds also. Whenever you are giving a loan, the charge you are getting is called a lien. So you have to get them to, for example, when you give a loan against LIC policy, the LIC policy should be assigned in your name. Similarly, when you give a loan against NSC, the NSC is to be assigned in your name. But when you give a loan against shares, debentures, units of mutual fund, you have to send to the registrar of the company. The lien will be marked over there. So the charge is called lien. You have two types of liens, 170 and 171 of Indian Contract Act. So general lien and particular lien. What is the difference between a general lien and particular lien? All bank liens are general liens. For example, when a borrower is coming and giving some that is items to you, against that you give me a loan. You are giving a loan against the borrower against some security. The borrower is subsequently coming and asking for some other loan against some other security. You are giving a loan against that security. Let us assume the borrower has cleared the first loan. The borrower has cleared the first loan. You already taken a security, maybe hypothecation or maybe mortgage, whatever it is. Now, he has taken a loan against some charge and you are given the loan, some security is given. The second case, he comes and takes a loan, gives some other security and you give the loan to him. So what I told you, bank's charge is with regard to lien. Bank is also always having general lien. What do you mean by that? So when he clears the first loan, in the second loan, if there are overdues, you have the right to hold the security given for the first loan. You got my point? First loan is cleared, no problem, cleared, and he's asking back the security, housing loan document he is asking. But second loan he has taken not against the same housing loan document, some other document he has given. You have to tell, you have to give proper notice to him stating that first loan you are cleared, no problem. But second loan, there are so much overdues are there. Only when you clear the overdue, I will release the documents of the first loan, even though you have closed the first loan. This is called the general lien. All your documents are general lien only. Banker's lien is general lien. Okay, section 170 is general lien, 171 is particular lien. Okay, sir, sorry. Lina, yes, it is assignment only. Okay, I already told them, no? So against FD, the question is whether it is a lien or assignment. Sir, we talk in a day-to-day the banking, lien. Okay, we are marking lien. We are marking lien in your CBS and sanctioning the loan. As per the law, banking law, it is called the assignment. So that is, it is called, it is assignment. So accordingly, it has to go there. That is why I told that over assignment. So then next question is bailment. Bailment is defined under section 148 of the Indian Contract Act. So you should know that. Actionable claim. So I told you that is actionable claim. What is actionable claim? Book debts, LIC policy, NSCs, fixed deposits. So actionable claim is defined under section 3 of TRACSI. Here I told you the assignment is defined under section 130 of the Transfer of Property Act. Mortgage is defined under section 58 of the Transfer of Property Act. Where actionable claim is defined, actionable claim is defined in section 3 of Transfer of Property Act. Then, so you know there are different types of mortgage. There are different types of mortgage. Banks will generally go for equitable mortgage until there are certain cases where you go for a simple mortgage. Normally, banks will go for a equitable mortgage. What do you mean by equitable mortgage? He comes and deposits the title deeds. That's all. You are not registering the mortgage. You will register only the MODDT, that is Memorandum of Depositing the Title Deeds. So, the registering the MODDT is also vary from state to state. It is not uniform in all the states. So, what is the main difference between equitable mortgage and other mortgages? Equitable mortgage need not be registered with the sub-registrar office. Here, MODDT has to be registered. So what is the, when you register the equitable mortgage, the stamp duty will be very huge which the borrower has to pay. When you register the MODDT, the stamp duty is very less. Okay, 0.1% of the loan amount, maximum 30,000 like that only. Why MODDT registration has come, for example, in the state of Tamil Nadu, till December 2012, there is no MODDT also. You take the documents, give the loan. You take the EC, no bank's name will come there. When you start registering the MODDT only, bank's name will come there. So why suddenly the MODDT has been introduced? Government wants the revenue. So that is why the MODDT is. In some states, if you go and see, there is no case of MODDT registration also even today. In some states, it is left to you. Some states, it is a must. Okay. So a mortgage, so other than equitable mortgage for rupees 100 and above must be a registered one as per section 59 of Transfer of Property Act. Equitable mortgage need not be registered. In respect of equitable mortgage, only MODDT to be registered. That varies from state to state. All other types of mortgages to be registered, and if it is 100 rupees and above, as per section 59 of the Transfer of Property Act, with all the acts also you should be able to tell. And within how many days those mortgages to be registered, such documents to be presented within 4 months from the date of execution for registration to the sub-registrar of assurances in the sub-registrar office. So the registrar can increase the period by 4 more months also. So all mortgage transactions other than EMT for 100 rupees and above to be registered as per section 59 of the Transfer of Property Act. Such a document to be presented within 4 months from the date of execution. Within how many months the registration to be done other than EMT? Within 4 months from the date of execution with the sub-registrar. The registrar who is above the sub-registrar can increase it by another 4 months. Where it is told, section 23 of the Indian Registration Act. Okay, sir. Now let's quickly go through the questions attached with this. So you'll be able to answer all the answer questions. You need not worry about it. Okay, sir. Different types of charges is available before you. Yeah, VSL, I think I specifically have given the question also. Yeah, VSL is given against a fixed deposit of the bank. The charge bank gets is lien, hypothecation. As you are only noting the lien, sir, the charge you are getting is called the assignment. Question number 15, answer is C. Always every year people get a doubt over that. Question number 16, sir. We are saying question number 16. Charge created by a borrower in favor of the secured creditor. Who is the secured creditor? Bank is the secured creditor. The borrower is a debtor. Okay. Charge created by the borrower in favor of the secured creditor on movable assets without possession. On movable assets with possession is pledge. On movable assets without possession is called hypothecation. Is called hypothecation as per provisions of, that is, which act is a Surface Act, section 2 of the Surface Act. So question number 15, answer is A. Question number 17. In which of the following case bank has floating charge? So pledge, hypothecation of machinery, mortgage, hypothecation of vehicle, none of these. So answer is none of these. When it is none of these, you should know the correct answer. For example, floating charge. On what bank is having the floating charge? So some of you may be knowing on the stocks. The floating charge bank is getting on the stock, no? So you get raw materials, stocks, it's going on changing, no? That is on those things only bank is getting, because he purchases, he does the raw material, he prepares the goods, stocks it there, he sells, isn't it? So on these items, the stock will go. Next month, fresh stock will come, isn't it? So on stocks, bank will get the floating charge. So none of this. That was number 18. The charge bank gets in lorry receipt and railway receipt. RR is railway receipt, LR is the lorry receipt, is hypothecation, constructive possession, pledge, none of these. So what do you mean?
Sir, in 17 number question,
The option will be available as a hypothecation of stock. That is that if
Which,
the question in which the following case the bank has a floating charge.
Okay.
The answer is none of these.
Yes.
Okay, correct.
Okay.
If the option is available like this hypothecation of stock.
Yes. In that case, you have to take that.
That only.
Yes. Hypothecation stock floating charge, I told you, no. So that's what, friends, you have to go through the question very correctly and you have to select the correct option. Here, since hypothecation of stock is not there, you have to choose none of these. If hypothecation stock is there, you have to tick that one only. Okay. The charge bank gets in lorry receipt and railway receipt is hypothecation, constructive possession, pledge, none of these. What do you mean by a lorry receipt against which the bank is getting a charge? What do you mean by railway receipt against which bank gets a charge? For example, let us assume your customer is purchasing something your customer is doing some business. He is purchasing something from Delhi. So he told, send me the goods from Delhi. So before sending the goods, so he says, I will give the money to you only after the goods comes to me. So your customer purchases certain items from some vendor from Delhi. So he says, I will send the money to you only after I receive the goods from you. Before that, I will not give the money to you. So the other fellow who is selling to your customer, so the other fellow who is selling is not believing him. This fellow does not believe in him. No. Similarly, the other fellow who is selling him also not believing. If both the fellows do not believe, there should be intermediary. So what he says, the seller from Delhi says, okay, sir, you send the money to me only after you received the goods from me. But I will not send the goods directly to you. I will, that is, send the goods through lorry, and the lorry receipt will be the name of Canara Bank. Or the railway receipts will be in the name of Canara Bank. He says the railway receipt. So what do you mean by railway receipt is the name of the Canara Bank? Goods are sent through railways. That is, a receipt is in the name of Canara Bank. That is only when you take the receipt to railway office, railway authorities will give you, open that is this one, and give you the goods. So when the railway receipts are drawn on Canara Bank, your customer will come and ask, sir, whether you got the railway receipt? Yes, I got the railway receipt. Before releasing the goods to you, you should give the money to me so that I send to your friend in Delhi. So the charge in between the bank is getting is called constructive possession. Question number 18, answer is B, constructive possession. Okay, so items are somewhere in somebody's godown. It is not in your godown. It is somebody's godown. Items are there. The lorry receipt is in your name. This is called constructive possession. Okay, sir. Question number 19. LR and RR are called these numbers. If you know, this is sufficient for these two questions because they are frequently asking. Lorry receipt and railway receipts are called documents of title of goods as per section 2 of Transfer of Property Act. So question number 19 answer, question number 19 answer is A, sale of good acts. Lorry receipt or receipt are called documents of title to goods as per section 2 of Sale of Goods Act. Question number 19 answer is 2. Question number 20. LRRR, they are also negotiable instrument acts. Not as per negotiable instrument act. They are also negotiable instruments as per point number B, Transfer of Property Act. They are negotiable instruments as per Transfer of Property Act. Question number 21. Bailment of goods for getting a loan is called pledge. You know, no pledge. So he comes and gives the gold ornament. So you are the pledgee, he is the pledger. So where bailment is defined? Section 148 of the Indian Contract Act. I told the first slide. Okay. What is bailment? Bailment of goods to get a loan is called, that is pledge. Okay. Bailment of goods for getting a loan is called the pledge. Where pledge is defined, bailment is defined. That also I told you. Section, that question number 21, answer is C. Question number 22. What is the meaning of pari passu charge? Charge created by banks on the immovable and movable properties. When charge is shared by the banks as first charge is secondary charge, there are different types of charge. First, some banks give the loan. Subsequently, you take the same property and give the loan. He is having the first charge, you are having the second charge. When charge is shared by the banks in the ratio of their loans, that is called pari passu charge. So property is worth of 1 crore. That bank has given 70 lakhs. You are given 30 lakhs. So 30 lakhs, you get the charge. 70 lakhs, he gets the charge. That charge is called the pari passu charge. So question number 22, answer is C. Question number 22, answer is C. Question number 23, where the principal money secured is 100 or more, a mortgage other than, I already told you, equitable mortgage.
Question number 22, what is the difference between the B and C point?
When a charge which do not require registration with sub-registrar office, that is not called as pari passu charge, you know.
No, I am asking about the difference between the B point and C point.
When the charge is shared by the banks as first charge and second charge, in that case, so first charge is put by bank A. Okay, here, so that is, for example, that is 1 crore loan is given by bank A. Say the property worth is also 1 crore. Your bank takes the same property and gives 30 lakh. That is left to the banks. Okay. When the loan becomes bad in bank A, the entire 1 crore will be taken by bank A. You will not get any money. You got my point. If the borrower is not going to repay, you will not get. In the case of a pari passu charge, bank A can take only 70 lakhs. The balance 30 lakhs will come to you. The loan becomes bad in your bank. You got my point. So, in the case of a pari passu charge, what is your share in the loan? The pari passu charge is agreed. You get that money that banks will get. In the case of that is charge is shared by banks as first charge. First, I have put the charge. Whatever my liability, if the borrower is not paying, I will clear it. Balance only I can give. There is a balance. In spite of that, banks will prepare to do that. Okay. So that is the difference between the two. Pari passu as well as charge is first charge and second charge. Where the principal money is secured rupees 100 or more, a mortgage other than the equitable mortgage has to be registered. I already told you it has registered as per section 59 of Transfer of Property Act. Within how many months it has to be registered? Within 4 months. Registrar can increase it by another 4 months. Okay. So bank guarantees are issued as per which provision? Bank guarantees are issued as per provision 125 of Indian Contract Act. Section 125 of the Indian Contract Act. Okay. Equitable mortgage means, what do you mean by equitable mortgage? Transfer of interest in a specific immovable property, transfer of immovable property to the creditor, both A and B, none of these. Here the correct option is transfer of interest in a specific immovable property, not transfer of property. Property is not transferred in the bank's name. He comes and gives the deposits of title deeds. He gives the interest to you. That's all. Okay. So question number 25, answer is A. Question number 26. Which one of the following match correctly with regard to compulsory registration, certification with respective authorities? Correctly match. 1. Will with the court. Partnership deed with the registrar of firms, equitable mortgage with sub-registrar of assurances, sale deed of immovable property with sub-registrar of assurances. Out of A, B, C, D, which requires registration, which matches correctly? Will with the court, it need not be registered. Okay. Similarly, partnership also need not be registered. Third point, equitable mortgage should need not be registered. So on the other hand, you are purchasing a property, sale deed is put through, no, that has to be registered. So which matches correctly? Point number D for question number 26. Point number D matches correctly. 127. For a loan to be raised in the case of need, a person assigns his insurance policy in favor of the bank. Such relationship of the customer with the bank will be. So customer is the assigner. I already given the customer is the assigner, bank is the assignee. Answer is already there. Question number 28. Notified area or notified by. So you know all the EMTs, equitable mortgage transactions, to be put only in a notified area. All branches of the bank can give, that is a mortgage, you can put through the mortgage, that is you can give a housing loan. But if the EMT has to be put through, your branch should be in a notified area. So what is the notified? That is, the area is notified in the government gazette. The respective state government say these are all the notified areas. So question number 28, answer is D. Question number 29. For creating EMT, for creating the, I want to get the answer from you. For creating the EMT, the property to be in notified area, non-notified area, rural area, in the command area of the branch, none of these.
Notified area.
No, it's wrong.
No.
See, for creating EMT, the property should not be in notified area. It can be any area. You got my point? See, read the question, sir. For creating EMT, the property to be in, the property need not be in notified area. It can be anywhere. The branch should be in the notified area. For example, you are given housing loan. The house property is in Chennai. House property in Chennai. Anywhere the property can be there. But whether you can put through the EMT, the notified area concept is only where the EMT is put, not where the property is situated. Okay, so if you take answer A, that is why the questions they create the questions very cleverly. First option they will give, immediately you will take that option. So we talk about the notified area. You see, immediately when you have for creating EMT, property need not be notified area. Again, I repeat, it can be anywhere. Only the branch which is putting through the EMT should be in the notified area. Okay, sir. So for question number 29, what is the answer, sir? Now, none of these. Anywhere in India. Okay. Question number 30. While granting loans, undertaking by the borrower not to sell or create a charge on a particular property without the consent of the bank is called negative lien. Negative lien. It is called negative lien. While granting loans to a person against the security of shares of a listed joint stock company, how does the bank create the security? Recollect the PowerPoint presentation? Lien. Lien is loans against shares. Debentures. I told you, no, how it is done. The lien is marked in the register. Okay, so the answer for the question is hypothecation of shares, endorsement on the shares, noting the lien on the company which issued the shares. Okay, question number 31. Answer is noting the lien with the company which has issued the shares. Okay, now few questions straight away we are going to the question. No PowerPoint presentation for that. There are certain points. Anyhow, your CRM policy. So credit and risk management policy, some that is retired executives will be taken over that. I don't want to venture into that, but general points with regard to the credit policy of Reserve Bank of India. So we are discussing legal aspects and general banking. That is why I brought the few questions over that. See, always friends, keep in mind, the Reserve Bank of India in any matter will give the overall guidelines. Within the guidelines, banks have to operate. So then your circulars will be within the guidelines given by Reserve Bank of India. It cannot be something more than what Reserve Bank of India has to. Okay. Now, what Reserve Bank of India are telling with regard to important credit matter, that is what this question. Question number 32. Up to what extent loans against shares can be allowed by banks to individuals? So you have approved shares, no? Up to what extent you can give? Rupees 10 lakh in physical form, and rupees 20 lakhs in demat form, rupees 20 lakhs, rupees 10 lakhs, none of these. Friends, there is here, that is maybe from maybe 2016 or 2017. There is no concept of giving loans against the share is in physical form. If the bank wants to give you a loan against shares, it should be in the demat form only. Maximum loan subject to your margin, if it is 50% margin or 75, whatever it is, subject to the margin, the maximum loan banks can give is only 20 lakhs against shares to a borrower. Okay, so there is no concept called physical share and demat share. All shares should be demat form. So here see, you cannot tick option number A, you have to tick option number B only. Maximum you can give 20 lakhs. No concept of loans against physical share. Okay, question number 32. 33, sorry. Bank loan for subscribing to initial public offer should not exceed rupees 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs, 10 lakhs or 100 lakhs. So bank loans for subscribing to initial, so that is some organization, let's assume, is issuing shares. They are coming in with share issue. People are approaching banks to give the loan to me for subscribing to those shares. We make a mark on the lien against that share. Maximum banks can give 10 lakhs. Question number 33, answer is 3. Question number 34. Maximum bank loans to employees for purchasing shares of their companies under employee stock option scheme other than the employee stock option scheme of that company should not exceed 90% of the purchase price of the shares or rupees 20 lakhs, whichever is less. So question number 34, the blank is 20 lakhs. Banks can allow loans per borrower against specifically minted gold coins up to what grams. Okay, so you know, generally bank gives loan against only gold jewelry. Bank will not give loans against gold coins. It's not a gold jewelry until otherwise you call that that is appraiser and creates a hook, you know, against the gold or gold coin. It is not an ornament. Similarly, gold bullion, gold bars. So against gold bars also you cannot give loans. On the other hand, maybe few years back, before some of the youngsters joined the bank, banks were selling the gold coins which are printed by government, minted by Government of India. Okay, Government of India mint is that. Those Government of India mints were minting the gold coins. Those gold coins were sold by the bank. So against those gold coins, even though they are not ornaments, banks can give loan. So what is the maximum per borrower? 50 grams. It should be 50 grams. It cannot be more than 50 grams. Question number 35, answer is C. Question number 36. Banks are not allowed to grant loans on the security of their own shares is as per which act? Okay, for example, Canara Bank cannot give loan against, that is the shares of Canara Bank. Canara Bank cannot mark lien on its own share and give loan. Similarly, Punjab National Bank cannot mark lien on its own share and give loan. This is as per which act? Question number 36. It is as per section 20 of Banking Regulation 20, subsection 1 of Banking Regulation Act 1949. Question number 36, answer is D. Okay. As per section dash of the Banking Regulation Act 1949, a bank should not hold, this question they are frequently asking, bank should not hold share in any company, whether as pledgee, mortgagee or absolute owner of an amount exceeding 30% of the paid up share capital of that company or 30% of its own paid up capital reserve, whichever is less. So as per which section? The question is as per which section? Section 19.2, subsection 19.2. For question number 37, answer is A. They may give this section and they may ask 30%, they may give the blank. They may give the section or they may ask the percentage or they will give the percentage, they will ask the section. You should be thorough for both. That is why here I ask you the section name, or they may give whichever less or more. So whichever less you should be able to answer. That's the entire sentence I have given. This question frequently they are asking, depending upon scale 1, if they give whichever less or more. So for you, some other scale, they may ask the section. So you should be thorough with that. Question number 38. Regulating the loans to should be 2. Regulating loans to directors of the bank is as per which section of the BR Act? So they may ask as per those loan section of which act. So it is as per the Banking Regulation Act, section 20. Question number 38, answer is A. Question number 38, answer is A. Question number 39. Loans and advances sanctioned to executives in scale 4 and above are to be reported to the board of directors. Scale 4 and above. This question is very important. There are two types of questions are frequently asked over there. That is why I'm going to explain a little for question number 40. A bank's direct exposure to capital market should not exceed -% of the net worth of the bank as at the end of previous March end. First, you should know what is a capital market exposure. If you understand the capital market exposure, you can answer the question. You know, banks are giving loans against shares. Isn't it? Banks are giving loans against mutual funds, like by taking the bonds, etc., which you can make a lien and give. So banks give loans against shares, debentures, etc. So similarly, bank is also investing in shares. You know, investment department will buy and sell shares or buy and invest in mutual funds, etc. So banks loan against shares. Similarly, banks direct investment in shares, etc., both called together, put together, is called capital market exposure. Okay, so what is capital market exposure? Bank gives loans to the customers against shares by keeping a margin. On the other hand, bank also directly purchasing and investing in shares, etc. Both put together is called capital market exposure. How much maximum capital market exposure? So the first portion, what I told you, banks is giving loan against shares. This is called indirect capital market exposure. So banks giving loans against shares is called indirect capital exposure. Bank investing directly in shares is called direct investment. Both put together is called capital market exposure. Here the question is, a bank's direct exposure. What is direct exposure? Directly investing. So there are two types of questions they are asking. If they ask this question, a bank's direct exposure to capital market should not exceed 20% of the net worth of the bank as at the previous March end. Okay, direct exposure. If they ask the question, a bank's total exposure. A bank's, what do you mean total exposure? Both direct and indirect put together. If they ask the question, bank's total exposure should not exceed, then you have to tick answer A, 40%. Total exposure, capital market exposure should not exceed 40%, whereas direct capital market exposure should not exceed 20%. Both the questions they are frequently asking, you should know for what you have to tick 40%, for what you have to tick 20%. Okay. Every bank. Huh? Which one, ma?
Indirect exposure.
No, there is no this one. See, both put together 40, out of which their direct should not exceed more than 20. That means direct can be 10, indirect can be 30. Direct 0, indirect can be totally 40. There is no separate cap for indirect. That's why I have not given that question. Okay, sir, good. Every banking company has to prepare its balance sheet and P&L account as stipulated in which act? Section 29 of Banking Regulation Act. Please note down section 29 of Banking Regulation Act. Okay, sir. Now, we'll quickly go through the other portion. I think I made a mark over there. I do not know about 40 as law of limitation. We'll quickly see the slides, law of limitation. So these are all the questions frequently you are getting over there. That is why I made it law of limitation. Okay, sir. So certain things you just note the number that is sufficient. You need not break over your head there. When you discuss some other classes, we'll see. Loans secured by mortgage. What is the limitation period? So friends, for your pledge and lien, law of limitation is not applicable. For pledge and I told you different types of charges, no? For pledge and lien, law of limitation is not applicable. For all other things, law of limitation is applicable. 12 years from the due date of installment of the term loan. So if the term loan installment due date is today and it is not paid, so from the due date of the term loan installment, the law of limitation runs for 12 years. Yes, sir.
Loan, mortgage loan also will come under that.
Mortgage loan,
Mortgage loan also will come under that category.
which category?
That loan secured by mortgage.
Yeah, all mortgage loan.
Up there, 15 years old.
Huh?
15 years are there.
For what?
Or repayment period of 15 years. So 15 years you can go for that.
You should get an AOD, that's all. Before 12 years, you should get an AOD, that's all. You should get an AOD. You can give 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever will be the repayment period. But if you want to file a suit, last installment, that is whenever it is due, you should not be more than 12 years, that you should have AOD in your books. That is why we say law of limitation. Okay, then for running account, we are giving a running account by taking a mortgage. It is 12 years from the date of the document. Within that, you have to get an either AOD or you have to file a suit. Recovery of loss caused by fraud. Let's assume there is a fraud has taken place in a loan and you have to file a suit. Within how many years you have to file a suit or recover it? So 3 years from the date of detection of fraud, not from the date of fraud. A fraud has taken place in an account, you found out today. So within 3 years, either you recover from the borrower or you have to file a suit, or you get an acknowledgement update from the borrower. Okay, 3 years from the date of detection of fraud. This question they are asking. Right of foreclosure. Don't worry about the concept right of foreclosure. If the question comes, it is 30 years when the mortgage money becomes due. It is 30 years when the mortgage money becomes due. Deposit account. See, friends, law of limitation is available for a deposit. We thought so far law of limitation is applicable only for a loan account. Law of limitation is also available for a deposit account. 3 years from the date of demand. So what do you mean by law of limitation for a deposit account? A deposit is coming to you. He had a deposit 25 years back. He had a deposit 25 years with you. He comes to you today. You do not able to find out where is the money. Unclaimed or deaf. You are telling so many things. You are not able to tell. Isn't it? He is coming and demanding the money from you. So he asks you, you are asking him, and so there is no money. Then he is demanding from you. You say no money. He is asking a letter from you. You don't have money with us. So then he has to go to somewhere. No. So where he will go? He has to go to court of law. Within how many days he has to go to court of law? Within 3 years from the date of demand. From today, within 3 years, he has to go to court of law and say, I approached the bank. I had a deposit. Bank says there is no money of you with me. So for deposit account also, there is law of limitation within 3 years from the date of demand by the customer. So I appeal to High Court against the lower court 30 days from the date of decree. Okay. Then next question is, next slide is with regard to law of limitation. Good. Period of stay in abroad can be excluded for limitation purpose. Period of stay in abroad can be excluded for limitation purpose. Let's assume today we are on which dates are 11. Today we are on you say 12th. Today is 12th and 11th only. 12th, 11th. So AOD is due. So the borrower is in abroad. He has gone abroad 10 days back. So from the 10th day last, let's assume today is, let's say for example 11. On 1st of the month he has left abroad. So from the 1st of the month to the 11th of the month, he is not available for you to get an AOD. When he comes back to India, you can get AOD within the 11 days. Within the 11 days. So then you can go with the AOD if he's not repaying. That AOD is available for another next 3 years, or he's not signing the AOD after the 11, within the 11 days, you can file a suit in the court. Okay. Period of stay in abroad can be excluded for limitation purpose. All of you are aware, in education loan, limitation period starts only upon the commencement of the repayment period. From there only you get the 3 years. If the limitation expires, for example, that is tomorrow, let's assume on 12th of December, that is, you have to file a suit, that is the last day, but the court is holiday. The court, because of the court is holiday, you are not able to file the suit. In that case, the day immediately the court is reopened, you can file the suit. If limitation expires on a day when court is on holiday, suit to be filed on the day of opening the court. Then the law of limitation for the government dues is 30 years. That is why I told you for attachment order, the limitation period is 30 years. Then limitation is not applicable for lien, pledge and right of set off. Okay, lien and pledge it is not applicable. Right of set off also. What is right of set off? We'll discuss on that. Then execution of degree. I told you EP, no execution petition. Court has issued a decree. The decree is valid only for 12 years. Without 12 years, you have to go and file an execution petition. Okay, that is why I told you, Garnishee order, law of limitation is only 12 years. Okay, sir. Quickly, we'll go through the answer. Question number 42. So question number 42, we are starting the question number 42. Good. Law of limitation. What is the limitation period of recovery of loss due to fraud? Answer is C. I already told you 3 years from the date of detection of fraud. Keep that in mind. Not 3 years from the date of fraud, 3 years from the date of reduction of fraud. Time limit for execution of decree is 12 years. Limitation period of government dues is 30 years. Law of limitation for Garnishee order is 12 years and for attachment order it is 30 years. Which is the odd man out for non-applicability of law of limitation? Lien. What is the odd man out for non-applicability? Isn't it? Lien is not applicable. It's not an odd man out. Am I correct, sir? Pledge, it is not applicable. Right of set off, it is not applicable. So what is the odd man out for non-applicability? First 3 are not applicable. They are not odd man out. Garnishee order, it is applicable. So for question number 46, answer is D. So these type of tricky questions also you should be able to answer. For question number 46, answer is D. First 3, it is not applicable. So they are not odd man out with regard to non-applicability. So the last one is applicable. So answer is D. So now we are quickly going to go through some important questions on banker-customer relationship. Sometimes they ask 2 questions, 3 questions, etc., etc. So we'll see the slide and then beyond the slide also some questions are there. We should try to see that. Please slides quickly you can go through, not a problem. See banker-customer relationship. So types of transaction, bank and customer. Deposit account, the bank is called the debtor and customer is called the creditor. Loan account, bank is called the creditor and customer is having the debtor. For example, in a deposit account, if the bank has given a TOD, then bank is called the creditor, customer is called the debtor. So deposit account with credit balance, bank is called the debtor, customer is called the creditor. Deposit account with a debit balance, for example, TOD is given, then bank is called the creditor and the borrower person is called the debtor. Loans. In the case of a loan, bank is called the creditor and customer is called the debtor. In a ODOCC account, suddenly customer will have a credit balance. In that case, the relation will differ. So in a loan account with the debit balance, the bank is called the creditor and the customer is called the debtor. Loan account with the credit balance, the bank is called the credit balance. Bank is called the debtor, customer is called the creditor. You should see the question whether they put, if they not put any credit balance or debit balance, you take as loan for debit balance, deposit as the credit balance. If they specifically mention credit balance or debit balance, you change the relation. Locker. Normally, the relationship between the banker and the customer in a locker account is lessor-lessee. Bank is the lessor and customer is the lessee. We also have another 2 types of relationship in a locker account, licensor, licensee. So if you see your locker agreement also, you come across these words, licensor and licensee. So bank is called the licensor, customer is called the licensee, and you can also say landlord and tenant. So normally it is lessor and lessee. If you have these options also, you should not say they are not the relationship. They are also the relationship between the banker and customer. In the case of a locker, safe custody article. Bank is called the bailee and the customer is called the bailer. Purchaser of a DD. So bank is called the debtor and customer is called the creditor. Payee of a DD, the name whose name is mentioned in the DD, bank is called the trustee and customer is called the beneficiary. Check sent for collection. Bank is the agent, customer is the principal. Then standing instruction, bank is doing some work. So bank is called the agent, customer is called the principal. So sale or purchase of securities on behalf of the customers, bank is the agent, customer is the principal. Then money deposited, but instructions not given for disposal. So when this will happen, customer comes, he fills up the challan and writes some account number and he name. And when you are going and seeing CBS, name and account number differs. You are not crediting the money to the customer. So we will keep it some other GL, isn't it? In that type of relationship, bank is called the trustee and customer is calling the beneficiary. Articles left by mistake. He's leaving some article, his mobile phone on your table and he's leaving. In that case also, you are called as the trustee and he is called as the locker room. He's operating the locker, he is coming out, he has kept something on the table over there. So he is called you are called the trustee. You have to keep the article on behalf of him. You are called the trustee and he is called as the beneficiary. Then see, when a check is sent for collection, bank is called the agent, customer is called the principal. When a check is discounted, you are purchasing the check. In that case, you are not called as the agent, you are called as the holder for value. When a check is discounted, bank is called the holder for value and the customer is called as the principal. Then pledge. In the case of a pledge, bank is the pawnee or pledgee, customer is the pawner or the pledger. Mortgage, mortgagee, mortgagor, assignment, assignee, assigner. Okay, then wrong credit given by bank and the amount yet to be recovered. So wrong credit given by the bank and the amount is yet to be recovered. Bank is the beneficiary. Customer is called the trustee. Okay, wrong credit. By mistake, wrong credit is given. In that case, the bank is called as that is beneficiary and the customer is called as the trustee. What is this next slide? Okay, we'll not go there. We'll quickly finish all the questions over there now. The nomination and death claim we'll try to finish today. Okay, sir. Now, banker-customer relationship. We are now seeing banker-customer relationship. Question number 47. You'll be able to answer all the questions. Absolutely no issue. Wherever questions are tricky, I will give you explanation to you. Question number 47. The relationship between the customer and the bank, where the customer left an article by mistake in the branch premises. Here, what you are supposed to do, see is what they are given first and what they are given second. Here, they are given the relationship between the customer and the bank. When the article left by mistake. When the article left by mistake, customer is called the beneficiary. Bank is called the trustee. You see now, so debtor, creditor, creditor, debtor, trustee, beneficiary, beneficiary, trustee. Both are there, no? So which option you will take correctly? D. Answer D. Okay. So relationship between the customer and the bank. Customer is the beneficiary and bank is the trustee. Now, 48, 49, 50. So tricky questions. So how you have to answer the question, I will see. So first you have to see what first they have put, whether they have put bank or whether they have put the customer. Then you see the option, whether correct options are there. If correct options are there, whether none of these is there. If none of these is also not there, what to be done? The three questions, 48. So people ask me, sir, why you are giving the same question? Same question because options are different. Question number 48. The relationship between a bank and customer in deposit account with the credit balance. You know, bank is the debtor, customer is the creditor. No problem. Question number 48, straight away answer is A. Question number 49 is the same question. The relationship between a bank and customer in deposit account with credit balance. So the answer should be debtor, creditor. You see whether options are there or none of these is there. Creditor, debtor, no. Bailor, bailee, no. Trustee, beneficiary, no. None of these. So you tick the D. Now you come to the fifth, question number 50. The relationship between the bank and the customer and deposit account with credit balance. Creditor, debtor, Normally, you will not tick it there. Bailor, Bailey, you will not tick. Trustee, beneficiary, no. Agent, principal, no. Whether none of this is there, no. In that case, you have to tick answer A. Most relevant answer you have to take. So, in a deposit account, the bank is the debtor, customer is the creditor always. If that option is given, you have to take that answer. If that option is not given, you see that none of this is there. For question number that is 49, none of this is there. You are taken the none of this. For question number 50, that option is not there. None of this is also not there. Then debtor, creditor, debtor option is there. That nearest answer you have to take. Okay, sir. For question number 50, answer is A. Oh, sorry. Okay, sir. So, sorry, that is question number 40. The relationship bank and the deposit account with credit balance, debtor, creditor, no problem. The relationship with the bank and the deposit with credit balance, creditor, debtor, no. Bailor, Bailey, no. Trustee, beneficiary, no. None of these. You have to tick none of these. For question number 50, creditor, debtor, no. Bailor, Bailey, no. Trustee, beneficiary, no. Agent and principal, no. None of these is not there. So you have to tick the nearest correct answer. Answer is A. Question number 50, answer is A. You see, 3 questions. Question number 48, 49, 50. For 49, you are selecting the correct answer A. For 49, you are selecting the answer D. For 50, you are selecting the answer A. Then 51. Which of the following relationship with the bank and customer is not stated correctly? So it is a negative question. Which is not stated correctly? You have to tick whether all of them are not stated correctly, or none of them are not stated correctly, or few of them are not stated correctly. Okay. So, principle, what is the relationship between the bank and the customer? Bank and the customer. Which are the following relationship between, sir, you tell me, between bank and customer in respect of a check discounted, what is the relationship? In respect of check discounted, relate bank and customer. Bank is holder for value. Customer is the principal. So whether A is correct, stated correctly or not, sir? A is not stated correctly, isn't it? Okay. Of course, point number B. Debtor, creditor, in the case of a current account, with overdraft. When a current account is having overdraft, what is the relation bank and the customer? Bank is the creditor, customer is the debtor. So point number B is also not correct. Okay, question point number 3, holder for value, agent in respect of a check sent for collection. In respect of a check sent for collection, bank is the agent and customer is the principal. That is also not stated correctly. What is the question? Which of the following is not stated correctly? All of these are not stated correctly. For question number 51, answer is D. All of them are not stated correctly. Am I correct, sir? A is not stated correctly, B is not stated correctly, C is not correct, not stated correctly. So if they are correct, all the 3 are correctly stated, then you have to choose the answer, none of these. Here, all of them are not stated correctly. So for question number 51, answer is D. So questions will be very easy. So the only thing is, the 1.5 hours or 2 hours is given to choose the correct answer. If you know the concepts, if you know the subject, you can choose correct answers immediately by seeing the answers. Okay, good. Next point. Which one of the following relationship between the bank? So these are all the questions recollected from the various banks exams taken. So that is why I'm practicing it to you. Which of the following relationship between customer and banker is odd man out? What do you mean by odd man out? Not correct. Odd man out. Okay. Between customer and bank. Customer first, bank is next. Okay. Check sent for collection. Principal agent. Whether it's an odd man out, not odd man out, sir. Whether it's an odd man out? No, it's not an odd man out. Good. So you should not take it. Money deposited, but correct instructions not given. Customer is beneficiary, banker is trustee. It is also not an odd man out. Am I correct, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Safe deposit article. It is safe deposit article. Customer is called the bailor and bank is called the bailee. It is also not an odd man out. So none of these. So question number 52, answer is none of these. All are correct. Okay, no odd man out, no odd man out, all are correct. So none of these. Question number 53. The relationship between the bank and business correspondent is. So now you see the question. So I will tell the relationship because in the slide it is not there. Bank is called the principal and the business correspondent is called as the agent. What I told you, if the principal agent is there, you take. If none of these, the principal agent is not there, none of these is there, you take. If none of these is not there, principal agent is not there, agent principal is there, you take. Okay, so now the same option you see. The relationship between the bank and the business, the normal relation is bank is the principal, agent is the, banking correspondent is the agent. Here, principal agent relationship is not mentioned. None of these is also not mentioned. So tick answer A. For 53, question number, answer is A. Then question number 54. The relationship in Reserve Bank of India and a bank which is maintaining currency just is. So Reserve Bank of India is the principal and the bank which is maintaining the currency just is the agent. For question number 54, answer is A. By mistake, bank credited rupees 2 lakhs in a current account of a company. Wrong credit is given. By the time the mistake is located before you reverse the money, the company is under liquidation. Once the company goes under liquidation, you should not debit the account. Even though you're given a wrong credit, you should get the permission from the official liquidator appointed by the court. Okay, you should not debit. So you are given a wrong credit, current account is there, but the company goes on liquidation, official liquidator is appointed, you should not touch that account. So till the money is recovered, so you are called as the beneficiary, the company is called as the trustee. Okay, wrong credit is given. With regard to the, because why you should not recover? Because the company has gone under liquidation. Okay, with regard to these 2 lakhs, the bank will call the company. The bank will call the company as the trustee. Okay, sir. Bank will call the company as trustee. Question number 55. Answer is C. Answer is C, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, good. Question number 55. In Garnishee order, the relationship between the bank in which the judgment debtor has deposit account and the court is called, so Garnishee court, judgment debtors debtor court, trustee and beneficiary. Several times I told you, question number 56, answer is C. Question number 57, the relationship between Reserve Bank of India and commercial bank. So Reserve Bank of India is the regulator and the commercial banks are called regulated. If you see the Reserve Bank of India circulars, they will mention that to all REs, regulated entities. If you see the RBI master circulars, if you go www.rbi.org.in, notification, if you see the circular there, they will address to all chairman and managing directors of REs. RE means regulated entities. So in India, Reserve Bank of India is a regulator and the banks are regulated. So RBI is the regulator and the commercial banks are regulated. So question number 57, answer is C. Question number 58. In the case of an overdraft facility, where the account is showing a credit balance temporarily, what is the relationship of bank and the customer? Bank is called the debtor and the customer is called the creditor. Normally in a OD, bank is called as the creditor, customer is called as the debtor. But in this overdraft facility, there is a credit balance. So depositor relationship will come. So here, what is the correct answer for question number 58? Answer is B. Answer is B. Am I correct, sir?
Yes.
Debtor, creditor. Good. Canara Bank is maintaining a current account in euro credit balance with Deutsche Bank in Frankfurt. As per customer banker relationship, Canara Bank is called dash and Deutsche Bank is called dash. Nostro, vostro, vostro, nostro, nostro and loro, none of these. Banker customer relationship. As per banker customer, so Canara Bank is maintaining a current account with Deutsche Bank. Okay, so we forget about the loro account, nostro, that is all foreign, but the banker customer relationship. As per banker customer relationship, Canara Bank is the creditor and then Deutsche Bank is the debtor because your current account is with them. As per banker customer, as per customer banker relationship, Customer is Canara Bank, customer is the creditor, and the banker here is the Deutsche Bank. That bank is the debtor. So creditor, debtor is there, sir? No, none of these. So you have to take none of these. And the correct answer for question number 59 is creditor, debtor. Why creditor? Because relationship of customer and the banker. Customer is Canara Bank, Deutsche Bank is the banker. Canara Bank is maintaining the current account with the Deutsche Bank with current account, credit balance. So Canara Bank is called the creditor, Deutsche Bank is called the debtor. So none of these. Okay, sir, good. So generally we'll take no straw, wo straw, isn't it? So, but you should take none of these. So question number 60. So Canara Bank is maintaining a current account with Deutsche Bank. Okay, so under this is as per banker customer relationship. The word banker customer relationship will not be there. Canara Bank will call it as no straw account. Deutsche Bank will call it a go straw account. Punjab National Bank will call it as a low row account. So the banker customer relationship word will not be there. When the banker customer relationship word is there, then you have to say debtor creditor or creditor debtor. Okay, sir. So this question, once they ask in some other bank, not in our bank question paper, possibility of repetition will be there. Okay, sir. Good. Then a fixed deposit is mature. Question number 60 we are seeing. A fixed deposit is mature. Okay. A fixed deposit is matured and lying with the bank in unclaimed deposit. In unclaimed deposit, in banker customer relation, in this case, bank is called. So yeah, fixed deposit matured and lying in the unclaimed deposit. So in the banker customer relationship, the bank is called as the debtor. Am I not correct, sir? The banker customer relationship, the bank is to say fixed deposit is with you, either matured or unmatured. It is with you. It is an unclaimed deposit, isn't it? So the money belongs to the customer. You are a debtor and he is the creditor. So the banker customer relationship, the bank is called as the debtor. Question number 60, answer is B. These type of tricky questions will come. You have to finish within 1 second. Friends, if you are thorough with the subject, within half an hour, you will finish the question paper and you will walk out of the hall with 100% mass security. Okay, okay, good. Then, so question number 60, answer is B. Question number 61. Bank issued a duplicate demand draft in respect of a lost demand draft by taking indemnity. Okay. In respect of this indemnity, the banker customer relationship will be indemnified and indemnifier, indemnity holder and indemnifier, bail or bailee, the A and the B, none of this. So what is this? A bank issued a duplicate demand draft by taking an indemnity from the customer. So banker customer, the banker is called indemnified and the customer is called indemnifier. Or you can also say the bank is called the indemnity holder and the customer is the indemnifier. So both A and B are correct. So answer is D. Both A and B are correct for this. So your answer should be D. The last question on the banker customer relationship. Mr. A has given power of attorney to Mr. B. The relationship of Mr. A and Mr. B is donor-donee, grantor attorney, creditor debtor, principal agent. The options are A1, B2, C1 and 2, D4, E1, 2 and 4. Here the answer is that is E. What is that E? It can be called as 1. What is that 1? So donor-donee. Or it can be 2, grantor or attorney. Or it can be 4, principal agent. So whichever option is given, you have to take. Whenever a power of attorney is given, that is the power who is giving the power of attorney is donor, the other person is the donee. Or he is the grantor or power of attorney and attorney holder. Or you can say he is the principal and he is the agent. So 1, 2 and 4 are correct, not that are correct. Okay, sir, good. So now we have completed question number 62. Okay, questions for banking ombudsman. So there is no PowerPoint presentation. Quickly we'll go through it. Before declining a customer's complaint, bank has to refer the matter to whom? Say, customer is giving a complaint to you. You are giving a return reply to him. No, you are not correct. Bank is only correct. So before doing it, you have to get a clearance from somebody. Circle head of the strategic planning and development wing head office, managing director and CEO, none of these. The answer for this is none of these. What is the correct answer? Internal ombudsman. Every bank has to recruit a retired DGM of another bank and above as the internal ombudsman. Before declining the customer, that is complaint. So you have to get internal clearance from the internal ombudsman. So the customer given a complaint to you, you are saying no, you are correct and you are wrong. Before giving a writing reply, you have to get clearance from the internal ombudsman of the bank. Okay, sir. So none of these. The correct answer is internal ombudsman. RBI, by its notification dated 12th November 2021, integrated the 3 ombudsman schemes, namely, so before November 2021, there were 3 ombudsman schemes in as per RBI. What are they? Banking Ombudsman Scheme 2006, Ombudsman Scheme for Non-Banking Financial Companies 2018, Banking Ombudsman Scheme for Digital Transactions 2019 into a single ombudsman called Integrated Ombudsman. Now you don't have ombudsman. Now you are having only Integrated Ombudsman. No question of concepts of ombudsman now. It is only Integrated Ombudsman. All the 3 are clubbed together. Only one ombudsman. Where you have to send the complaint to Chandigarh, RBI office in Chandigarh only. He is the Integrated Ombudsman. Okay, sir. Question number 65. Question number 65. The power to form the Integrated Ombudsman Scheme is available to RBI under which Act? Section 35A of the Banking Regulation Act 1949, Section 45L of the RBI Act 1934, Section 18 of the Payment and Settlement Act 2007. You see the previous slide, sir? Previous question. Banking Ombudsman Scheme 2006. Okay, so that has come under Section 35 of the Banking Regulation Act. Then Ombudsman Scheme for Non-Financial Companies 2018, that has come as per Section 45L of the RBI Act 1934. And the other one, you see, Ombudsman Scheme for Digital Transaction, that has come under Section 18 of the Payment and Settlement System Act. All the 3 are clubbed, and you got the Integrated Ombudsman Scheme. So all of these. So they may ask any question. Okay, so for the digital banking transaction, it is integrated, it is Ombudsman Scheme as a Payment and Settlement System Act. Now it is not that. You have only one banking ombudsman, that is Integrated Banking Ombudsman. Then RBI will appoint 1 or more of its officers as ombudsman and deputy ombudsman, that is for a period not exceeding 3 years. 3 years at a time. Discretion. So answer for question number 63, answer is B. Question number 67. What is the name of the portal in which online complaints are to be registered? Sir, the portal's name is CMS. cms.rbi.org.in. CMS. Okay, cms.rbi.org.in. Question number 68. Banks to appoint a principal nodal officer. So for contact with the integrated ombudsman, every bank should have a person who will be contacting with the integrated, which that is circle heads cannot contact, etc., etc. In head office, one person to be nominated, with whom only the integrated ombudsman from RBI will correspond. Who is that authority as per RBI guidelines? That is the question. Banks to appoint a principal nodal officer at the head office under the scheme not below the rank of general manager. So question number 68, answer is C. Question number 68, answer is C. In our bank, who is the nodal officer, principal nodal officer? RBI has told not below the rank of a general manager, you should appoint a person for my contact. So not below the rank of the general. So you are taking the answer is C. In Canara Bank, who is the nodal officer for the integrated ombudsman scheme? That is head of. The head may be a general manager or more than a general manager. It should not be less than the general manager. Head of strategic planning and that is development wing. Okay, in our bank, it is head of SP and DB. Suppose if they ask the question. So as per the integrated ombudsman scheme, in Canara Bank, who is the principal nodal officer? So you have to tell, they may put general manager, circle head, RO head. Then you have to give the correct answer. He is the head of strategic planning and development wing, SP and DB. He may be general manager or he may be above a general manager. Okay, sir, good. A customer, so for question number 68, the answer is C. So I'm giving additional questions also, which is not in the question paper, so that you should not miss out anything. So question number 68, answer is C. Question number 69. A customer has sent a complaint to the bank. He has not got any reply within 30 days. He has not got any reply within 30 days. Then after the 30 days is over, he can approach banking ombudsman. Within which time he has to approach the ombudsman. 1 year from the date of complaint, 30 days from the date of complaint, 6 months from the date of complaint, 1 year and 30 days from the date of complaint. So question number 69, answer is D. Customer has sent a reply. Customer has sent a complaint. He has not received any reply even after 30 days is over. So then what is the time limit for him? He has to go for integrated banking ombudsman within 1 year and 30 days from the date of complaint, or 1 year after the 30 days is over. Okay. Then now you see the next question. A customer has sent a complaint to your bank on 2nd September 2022. He got a reply. You also gave a reply. When you gave the reply, sir, on 10th September 2022, he is not satisfied with your reply. So before giving a reply, you have to get the permission from the internal ombudsman. If you are going to give a no, you are going to say no to the customer, you have to get a permission from the internal ombudsman. Who is the internal ombudsman? Retired DGM and above, appointed by the bank, from some other banks. Okay, good. So he is not satisfied with the reply. Within how many days he has to approach the integrated ombudsman? So earlier it was banking ombudsman, now it is integrated ombudsman. So within how many days he has to approach the ombudsman? So earlier in the previous question, he has not received any reply after 30 days. That is why you told 1 year and 30 days. But in this question number 70, he got a reply within 30 days. Since he got a reply within 30 days, from the date of reply, within 1 year, he has to go to integrated ombudsman. So he got a reply on 10th September. So 1 year from 10th September, he has to go to banking integrated ombudsman. Question number 70, answer is D. If you get a reply within 30 days, so from the date of reply, so you have to go within 1 year. If you do not get any reply even after 30 days, 1 year or 1 month from the date of complaint. Okay, this is date of reply, that is date of complaint. Question number 71. When ombudsman sends the complaint to the bank has to give the reply to ombudsman within how many days? For example, the integrated, you are lodging a complaint with the integrated ombudsman in cms.rba.org.in. Immediately, the complaint will be forwarded to the respective bank, head of the SPND wing. The head of the SPND wing will send to the circle. Circle will in turn will send to the branch or wherever it is. Then the circle has to send the reply back to SPND wing. So the head will inform the integrated ombudsman, this is our reply. Okay, all the integrated ombudsman has asked a question, you have to give a reply. Within how many days the bank has to give the reply to the integrated ombudsman? Within 15 days. What is the penalty? Within 15 days, bank is, you get the integrated ombudsman complaint by email. You just to put in the drawer and go on leave. So in that case, within 15 days, if the bank is not giving reply to the integrated ombudsman, and if the integrated ombudsman passes an order against the bank, okay, you are not given any reply, integrated ombudsman unanimously say, Canara Bank has to pay 1 lakh to that customer. Then Canara Bank cannot go for appeal. You got my point? If the reply is not given 15 days to the integrated ombudsman for the complaint which the integrated ombudsman has forwarded to the bank, the penalty for the bank is any order subsequently passed by the integrated ombudsman, the bank cannot go for any appeal. 1 lakh you have to pay. That's all. Okay, sir. These are all the new guidelines. 12th November 20. They may ask the question, from which date integrated ombudsman has started? 12th November 20. That's why I given the date there. Each question has a meaning in my preparation of the questions. Okay, sir, good. Then, because they are asking, friends, that is DDs are to be issued with the purchaser's name also. Am I correct, sir? So this is from which day? That question was asked last time for 3 to 4. There is no relevance. If you see, there is no relevance. No, DDs to be issued with the purchaser's name. It is as per KYC guidelines. So why it should not be used for some other money laundering and other things? That okay, for what purpose if they ask, it is some relevance. But the examiner has asked, this is with effect from which day? 15th September 2018. Where it is in your books, in your KYC policy of the bank. Every year banks comes out the policy. No, if you go and see the KYC policy of the bank, that they have mentioned from 15th September 2018, DDs issued by the bank should have the purchaser's name also. You got my point. Any question will be asked by the examiner. You should be prepared for that. Good, sir. Okay, then when the ombudsman sends a complaint to the bank, we are seeing question number 71. The bank has to give the reply to the ombudsman within how many days? Within 15 days. Question number 71, answer is C. Question number 72. Customer has to either accept the award given by the ombudsman or go for appeal within how many days? But friends, I will tell how the integrated ombudsman technology works. The integrated ombudsman, after verifying everything, issues an order, passes an order. He says, so integrated ombudsman says, Canara Bank is correct, you are wrong. So the order will go to the customer. The order will also go to Canara Bank. Now, after the order goes to bank as well as the customer, within certain period, both of them have to act. First, when the order, Canara Bank need not worry until otherwise it gets a reply from the customer. Integrated ombudsman gives an order, it goes to the customer, it goes to Canara Bank. You got my point? So first customer has to react on the reply. If the customer is not satisfied with the order of the integrated ombudsman, customer has to go for appeal within 30 days of the receipt of the order. First, customer only has to react. Bank need not react about the order. Please keep that in mind. So, integrated ombudsman gives an order. So, customer has to either accept the order or it has to go for appeal. Within how many days? Within 30 days. So, if the customer is accepting the order, he will send a letter of acceptance to the bank. If he is not satisfied with the order, he will go to the appellant authority, both within 30 days. As long as the bank has not received any letter of acceptance, bank need not react. Bank will wait whether I am getting a letter of acceptance. Once the bank gets the letter of acceptance, within 30 days, either the bank should pay the money to the customer or bank has to go for an appeal. So integrated ombudsman sends the order to the customer to the bank. First, customer only has to react. Within 30 days, he has to go for an appeal or he has to send the letter of acceptance to the bank. The moment the letter of acceptance comes to the bank, either the bank has to accept the order or go for appeal, again within 30 days. Okay, sir? Good. Bank, that is, question number 72. Customer has to either accept the award given by the ombudsman or go to the appeal within how many days? 30 days from the date of the award. Customer. 30 days from the date of the award, 30 days from the date of receipt of the award, 30 days from the date of acceptance of the award of the customer, 45 days from the date of receipt of the order. Answer is 30 days from the date of receipt of the award. So customer has to either accept or go for appeal within 30 days from the date of receipt of the award. Question number 72, answer is B. Question number 73. Bank has to settle the integrated ombudsman award within 30 days or go for appeal from date of award, date of receipt of award by the customer, date of acceptance, date of receipt of acceptance award from the customer. So bank has to go in for appeal within 30 days from the date of receipt of acceptance of the award from the customer. So question number 73, answer is C. So you have to be very careful. 30 days, everywhere 30 days. From which date is more important? Question number 73, answer is C. Question number 74. If appeal is not filed within 30 days, people have to go for appeal. When customer has to go for appeal, within 30 days from the date of receipt of award. When bank has to go for appeal within 30 days from the date of acceptance of award from the customer. So if within 30 days, people cannot go for the appeal, another 30 days will be provided. So question number 74, if appeal is not filed within 30 days, either by the bank or for the complainant, the appellant authority can permit additional 30 days time to file appeal. 75. Bank has to file the appeal only with the previous sanction of. Suppose if the bank wants to go and appeal to the integrated ombudsman, so the appellant authority, what the ombudsman order is given, no, we are not accepting, we are going to file an appeal. Who has to permit filing an appeal against the order of the integrated ombudsman in the bank? We are MD and CEO of the bank. Question number 75. After getting the permission from MD and CEO of the bank only, any appeal against the banking ombudsman order can be filed by the bank. Okay, then the maximum award of integrated ombudsman can give as on date is rupees 20 lakhs. That is 2 million. Okay, 1 million is equal to 10 lakhs. So 2 million is equal to 20 lakhs. The maximum award an integrated banking ombudsman has still 2 million or 20 lakhs. And over and above that, banking integrated ombudsman can give award maximum 1 lakh for mental tension, agony, etc. the customer. So maximum 20 lakhs. Additional 1 lakh also can be given to bear the cost of the customer, etc. etc. Maximum 1 lakh, additional 1 lakh. Now, who is the appellant authority in integrated ombudsman scheme? Friends, in the banking ombudsman scheme, the appellant authority was the deputy governor of RBI. That is normal banking ombudsman. In the integrated ombudsman scheme, who is the appellant authority? The appellant authority is the executive director of RBI. The executive director of RBI who is overseeing integrated ombudsman. Again, I repeat. Who is the appellant authority in integrated ombudsman scheme? There are a lot of executive directors in RBI. The executive director overseeing the integrated ombudsman scheme in RBI is the appellant authority. Earlier, deputy governor of RBI was the appellant authority. Okay, sir. So this is what I could be able to make the questions. Now, okay, we have maybe around 1 o'clock we'll stop. Because the other session will start from Hyderabad maybe around 2 o'clock. So you may have to take lunch and all again start from here or from residence. So I'll finish by 1 o'clock. Now it is yes, but the clock over here is 12:40, another 20 minutes. So nomination and death claim. So we'll see the PowerPoint. A lot of questions, legal aspect questions will be over there. We'll quickly go through the PowerPoint presentation. If time permits, we'll see some questions also over there. So all of you are already aware of the nomination and death claim, etc. I need not again and again tell. We're all highly knowledgeable people, youngsters. Okay, sir. Now, quickly we'll go through. Nomination. So which are all the items are eligible for nomination in our bank? Deposit is eligible for nomination. Locker is eligible for nomination. Safe custody articles is eligible for nomination. Recently, 2 or 3 years back, gold loans are also eligible for nomination in our bank. So far, gold loan was not there. 2-3 years to repay, to give back the pledged ornaments, nomination is there. Okay, so nomination is possible in these 4 accounts. Then, only if the accounts are in the names of individuals, and if the account is in the name of a proprietorship firm, either a locker account, or a deposit account, or a safe custody article, or gold loan, if it is in the names of individual, either single or joint. It should be the name of Ramasamy and Kuppusamy, or should be the name of Ramasamy, or it should be the name of a proprietorship firm. Accounts in the names of individuals, either single or joint, irrespective of the operating conditions, either single or joint, then in that case, so also accounts in the names of a proprietorship firm, nomination is possible. Okay, which are all the accounts? Deposit, locker, safe custody article, and then your gold loan. And these accounts should be in the names of individuals, either single or joint. including accounts in the names of proprietorship. All other accounts, nomination is not possible. If we have a partnership account, no nomination. If we have a HUF account, no nomination. If we have a trust account, no nomination. Accounts in the names of entities, accounts in the names of representative capacities is not eligible for nomination other than proprietorship. Okay, then deposit accounts in the names of individuals, either single or joint, nomination is possible, irrespective of the operative condition or repayment condition. So, either or survivor, number one or survivor. These conditions are operative condition for SB and current account. These conditions are repayment conditions for a fixed deposit account. Okay, on maturity only these conditions will apply for a fixed deposit account. Okay, sir. So, deposit accounts in the names of individuals, either single or joint name, eligible for nomination, irrespective of the operative condition, irrespective of the repayment condition. Then, locker accounts are eligible for nomination if locker is in single name. So I told you that is deposit accounts in the names of individual, either single or joint, nomination is permitted. Locker accounts, if it is in the names of individuals, single name only, nomination is available. If locker accounts is in joint names, nomination rule is applicable only if the locker operation condition is jointly. Again, I repeat. So these things you can refer death claim manual updated till 30th September 2021, or that is safe deposit locker, safe custody policy of the bank. We'll separately discussing when we come to the policy. So please keep in mind, sir. So deposit accounts, either single name, joint name, irrespective of the operative condition, nomination is permissible. In the case of a locker, if it is single name, nomination is permissible. In the case of a locker with joint names, nomination rules is applicable only when the locker is operated jointly. Okay, sir? Okay, good. That you should keep in mind. Then, safe custody article. Safe custody article. So, when nomination is permissible, if deposited in single name only, nomination is allowed. If safe custody article is deposited in joint names, so nomination is not acceptable. Proprietorship accounts are also eligible for nomination. Again, I repeat. So nomination, which accounts are eligible? Deposit accounts, locker accounts, safe custody article, gold loan. Gold loan recently introduced by the bank. So in the case of a deposit accounts, either single name or joint names, it is permitted, whatever may be the operation condition. In the case of a locker, nomination is permitted if it is in single name. If it is in joint name, nomination is permitted if operation condition is jointly. If it is safe custody article, if it is that is deposited in single name only, nomination is permitted. Joint names, it is not permitted. Proprietorship accounts are also eligible for nomination. Either locker or deposit, safe custody article, it is permitted. Okay. Then, accounts in representative capacity. That is, I told you, no, that is entities. For example, HUF, partnership, trust, company, societies. If they have any account with it, they have a deposit account, if they have locker, if they have self-deposit article, or if they have gold loan, etc., these accounts are not eligible, they cannot nominate. Accounts in representative capacity, they cannot nominate. Then, minor account represented by guardian is eligible for nomination. You know, no? So, minor accounts, bank can open accounts, minor accounts. What is the age limit, sir, for opening a minor account, SB account, minor account in Canara Bank? 10 years and above. There are two types of minors account as per your SB current account manual updated till 31st March 2020. Two types of minors. One is student minor, another is non-student minor. Student minor, who is a student minor? He is studying, he is called a student minor. If he has completed 10 years and above, you can open an SB account and permit him to operate without the guardian. And if he is a non-student, minor, many possible, no. Minor non-student, if he has completed 12 years and above, you can permit to open SB account in Canara Bank. Reserve Bank of India has permitted banks to allow the minors to open account and operate by themselves without the guardian, provided they are able to read, write, and understand. That's all RBI's guidelines. What Canara Bank has done, Canara Bank is more careful. What they told, if the student is studying in a school, get a proof and open, if he's 10 years and above, by linking his father's mobile number, 5,000 rupees withdrawal, 2,000, something conditions are there. And if the minor and he is a non-student, is not studying, but he should be able to read and write. It's possible. If he's a non-student, then he should be age of 12 years and above. If they ask that question under deposit, you should not miss it over that. That's why I'm telling that one also. Okay. So minor represented by guardian is eligible for nomination. Who has to sign the nomination form? The guardian will sign the nomination form. So there are, for example, there are certain accounts which are in the names of minors represented by guardian. In that case, guardian cannot give the nomination. Which are all those accounts? We'll see the last slide. Again, I repeat, minors account represented by guardian is eligible for nomination. Guardian has to sign the nomination form. There are certain minors account represented by guardian is not eligible for nomination. Which are they? We'll see later. Then other point, minors cannot nominate for their self-operated account. Minor, 10 years and above, 12 years and above, minors can open an SBI account and operate. Minors cannot nominate for that self-operated account. But if the minor insists, I want nomination, SBI account opening form, yes, sign, 10 years and above, student minor. You got a proof from his school and you got a consent letter from his parent and you opened an SBI account. So after opening an SBI account, he says, I want to make a nomination in the SBI account. So in that case, if he still insists for nomination, his guardian has to sign the nomination form. That's why I put the question mark. Minors cannot nominate for his self-operated account. They can sign the deposit account opening form, but they cannot sign the nomination form. If the minor still insists for his self-operated account, I want nomination, then the DA1 form, DA2 form, whatever form is there, get it from his parent, guardian, and accept the nomination. Okay, sir? Good. Then, now, okay. Now, so these are the questions, some questions they are asking. Transaction, registration of nomination and settlement of nomination. In the case of deposit account, registration of nomination as by section 45ZA of the Banking Regulation Act. Settlement of nomination is as per 45ZB of the Banking Regulation Act. Safe custody article, you register nominated 45ZC and 45ZD. Locker 45ZE and 45ZF. Okay, these are all the sections you should know. If they ask the section, you should not miss it. So registration, one section. Settlement is another section. Deposit, 45ZA, 45ZB. Safe custody, accordingly you get in different forms. So safe custody, 45ZC and 45ZD. Locker, 45ZE and 45ZF. Then, transaction. Deposit accounts, I told you. Whether the deposit account in the name of a single person or in joint name, irrespective of the operation condition, or if the deposit in the name of a proprietorship account, nomination is possible. Okay, very clear. Locker. So, safe custody article. For safe custody article, his nomination is possible, but it is provided if it is deposited by a single individual. If it is deposited by joint individuals, nomination is not possible. If it is deposited by proprietorship firm also, nomination is possible. Coming to locker. Nomination is possible for a proprietorship account or for a single locker account. Locker account, nomination is possible for a joint account if the locker operation conditions is jointly. Okay. Now, how many people can be nominees? Who can? The first slide is, first portion is, second column is who can nominate. For a deposit account, who can nominate? For a safe custody article, who can nominate? For a locker account, who can nominate? The third column here in the slide is who can be the nominee. Friends, I told you applying for nomination, is eligible for individual accounts and proprietorship accounts. And then coming to nominee. Nominees will always be individuals only. Even a proprietorship cannot be a nominee. A proprietorship account can nominate, but a proprietorship account cannot be a nominee. The nominees will always be single individuals. In some cases, it can be more than one individual also. So, who can make the nomination? Individuals, either single name or joint name, or depending upon the category, and then proprietorship account also can nominate. Who can be the nominee? Individuals only can be the nominee. Proprietorship account or proprietorship is also cannot be a nominee. And whether there can be one nominee or more than one nominee, depending upon various types of deposits, we got single nominee or more than one nominee. For example, deposit account, whether single name or joint name, there can be only one single individual can be the nominee. For example, they're having a KDR or FDR, joint names, whatever may be the repayment condition, the nominee will be only a single individual. Minor also can be a nominee. If minor is a nominee, then a person who has to receive the money, something goes wrong to the minor, has to be appointed. Okay, good. Then safe custody article, for that also only single individuals can be the nominee. Locker. If the locker is operated by the single individual, single locker, then only single individual can be the nominee. If the locker is operated jointly, then only nomination rule is applicable. Then the number of nominees can be more than one individual also. Okay, then. So this is the form number. Let's not worry about the form numbers, but clerical to officer people, when you are taking up these questions, they are asking what is the particular form number for registration, addition, cancellation, variation. Okay, let's not worry too much about that. Then an insolvent person, insane person cannot nominate. So that is, a minor cannot nominate for his self-operated account. An insolvent person cannot nominate for his account. An insane person cannot nominate for his account. RBI guidelines. Nomination is compulsory in single named accounts. For example, a person is opening a deposit account in his name. You have to ask for nomination. If he is telling, I don't want to give nomination, he has to tick the appropriate box in the account opening form. I don't want to nominate. So single named account, as per RBI guidelines, nomination is compulsory. Witness. If you say the DA1 form in the deposit account opening form, 2 witnesses will be there against nomination. Witness to be applied only if the deposit is in the name of illiterates. If the deposit is not in the name of illiterates, witness for nomination need not be asked for. Okay, witness for nomination is needed for illiterate deposit accounts only. Printing of nominee in the deposit receipt or SB account, once the nomination is registered, you will link the nominee ID to your deposit ID. At the time, it will be printed, so nomination registered. So in your SB account, SB pass sheet, SB passbook or deposit receipt, so nomination registered word has to come once the nomination is registered. Whether the name of the nominee to appear, if the customer asks, I want the name of the nominee also to be printed, then only you have to print. Otherwise, name of the nominee need not be printed by default. If nomination is registered, that is nomination registered word will appear. If nomination is registered, whether the name of the nominee to be registered, it is at the discretion of the customer. Okay. Then nominee to be an individual only. HUF and others like company, firm, etc. cannot be nominees. I already told you. Nominee can be a minor. Nominee can be a minor, but minor cannot nominate. Minor cannot nominate, but minor can be a nominee. Insolvent person cannot nominate, but an insolvent person can be a nominee. Okay, so nominee can be a minor. In such case, person to receive the money to be indicated. It is not necessary, whenever a minor is a nominee, it is not necessary guardian only should be the person. You should not be his father only or mother only. Anybody can be there. When minor is a nominee, the person who has to receive the money to be mentioned that all who should be a major. It is not necessary. You should be the guardian of that minor. Okay. For gold loans, you see here, for gold loan, I told you minors can be nominee, isn't it? In Canara Bank, for gold loan, minors cannot be nominees. Even if there is a minor, you cannot put somebody else to receive the gold packet on behalf of the minor, you cannot make. So minor can be a nominee other than for gold loan accounts. Okay, for gold loan, minor cannot be nominee. All account holders have to sign the nomination form, irrespective of the operation condition, either jointly or singly, or there is either or survivor, number one or survivor. For nomination, cancellation of nomination, change in nomination, all account holders have to sign the nomination form. Okay, then nomination can be cancelled, varied any number of times with the consent of all account holders with the service charge. Then the nominees are considered as the trustees of legal care. That question they are frequently asking. What do you mean by that? Nominees are considered as the trustees of the legal care. Suppose there is a nominee is there in a deposit account. You are settling the death claim in favor of the nominee. The legal heirs are coming to you. So on the same day, though the nominee is coming to you, he is not at all related to the depositor. The legal heirs are also coming. So you are telling, I will settle the death claim only in favor of the nominee as per the nomination rules. You are telling in favor of the nominee as per the nomination rules. So these fellows say, no, you have to settle in favor of the nominee only. So you are settling the death claim in favor of the nominee. The nominees are receiving the money as the trustees of the legal heir. What do you mean by that? Tomorrow, if the legal heirs go to the court of law, you need not worry about it. Legal heirs will go and say, sir, this day morning, I went to the bank. So nominee was also there. I told the bank, we are the legal heirs. So we should not give the money to you should give the money only to the legal heir. In spite of that, bank has settled the claim in favor of the nominee. So court will ask the nominee to give the money to the legal heir. Okay, that is called nominees or the trustees of the legal heir. You need not worry about it. Okay, sir. Next point. See, your proprietorship account can nominate, but it cannot be a nominee. You see, a minor cannot nominate, but a minor can be a nominee. You see here, a proprietorship account can nominate, but a proprietorship account cannot be a nominee. Okay, sir. Nominee is a single individual only. In the exceptions, I'll tell you. Nominee need not sign the nomination form. There is no signature of the nominee to be obtained. Illiterates can nominate. Illiterates can be nominees also. Then nominee can be any individual. They need not be relatives to your account holder. Then, now, one important, the two slides will show you some account with regards to joint locker operated jointly and joint deposit accounts. When one of the person dies or when all the people are going to die, so how to settle the nomination, to whom you will give the money, very important. In joint deposit accounts, nominee right arises upon the death of all depositors. Nominee cannot enter into picture until otherwise all depositor dies. The deposit name of A and B. So when A dies, whether the money to be given to Mr. B or B along with the legal heirs of Mr. A, that depends upon various operative conditions. So in locker is operation jointly. A and B operation jointly only, nomination is permissible. If A dies, whether you will give the locker access to the legal heir along with the surviving person, or you can give to the nominee also, that we are going to see. In joint deposit accounts, nominee right arises upon the death of all depositors, whatever may be the repayment condition. Only when all depositors die, nominee will enter into picture. Otherwise, you have to settle to somebody. Branches to settle nomination, irrespective of the amount. In the case of a deposit account, irrespective of the amount, branches to settle nomination for safe deposit articles and also in respect of lockers. So whenever there is a nomination, there is no power. Power is a sky. Whenever there is a nomination, the power of 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs is only for the settlement of death claim without nomination. So you know, safe deposit locker without nomination, DGM and above only to settle. But if the safe deposit locker is having a nomination, then branch head has to sanction, even if it's a scale 1 heading the branch. Okay, so branches to settle the nomination irrespective of the amount, as well as if it is safe deposit article or also safe deposit lockers. So safe deposit locker nomination rule is applicable only if the locker is operated jointly. So these things you should know. Okay, sir, good. Then now you see, in joint locker account, the slides I will just to read and explain. With this we'll close before going to the death claim. Okay. In joint locker accounts, operation jointly, nominee can be more than in one individual. You collect my slide, my table. So locker. So nomination single name. If the locker is single name, one nominee. If the operation is jointly, more than one nominee. Okay. In joint locker accounts, nomination rule is applicable only if operation is more than jointly. In joint locker accounts, operation jointly, nominee can be more than one individual. Okay. In locker, with operation condition jointly, nominee right arises upon the death of one of the joint hirers. So lunchtime, please hear. In locker, with operation condition jointly, nominee right arises upon the death of one of the joint hirers. You see the previous slide? In joint deposit accounts, nominee right arises upon the death of all depositors. But coming to the locker, in locker, with operation condition jointly, nominee right arises upon the death of any one of the locker hirers. So deposit only when all the joint depositor dies only nomination comes. But here in a locker, operation jointly, only you will take nomination. So nominee will enter into picture. It is not necessary all locker hirers to die for settling the nomination. Even one locker hirer dies, another locker hirer is alive, then nominee you have to settle in favor of the nominee along with the survivor locker hirer. Okay. See, for example, I give an example. If locker is in the name of A and B, operation jointly. So you will take nomination only if it is jointly. If locker is the name of A and B, operation jointly, nomination Mr. X and Mr. Y. There can be more than one nomination. Upon the death of Mr. A, please read it. Upon the death of Mr. A, contents to be vacated and given to whom you have to give. You have to give to the surviving locker hirer. Who is the surviving locker hirer? Mr. B. And to nominee or nominees. If there is one nominee, you give to the nominee. Or if there are more than one nominee, all the nominees you call surviving locker hirer. Again, I repeat, not locker, jointly operation A and B. If A dies, two nominees are there, Mr. X and Mr. Y. Upon the death of Mr. A, contents to be vacated and given to Mr. B. Who is Mr. B? Surviving locker hirer. And Mr. X and Y, nominees. Legal heir of A does not enter into picture. This is with regard to settlement of death claim when a locker operated jointly is having a nomination, when one of the locker hirer dies. Okay, you see the next slide. I'll give an example for a deposit. In deposits payable jointly. Okay, fixed deposit is there, payable jointly. Only if A and B dies, nominee will enter into picture. Deposit accounts. So only when A and B dies, so nominee will enter into picture. So deposits payable jointly, joint account. If A only dies, settled B and legal heirs of this A, since it is payable jointly. So the main difference locker and deposit account is locker operation jointly, nomination is permissible. So when one locker hirer dies, when there is a nomination, settle the death claim in favor of the surviving locker hirer and along with the nominee or nominees. In a deposit account operation jointly or deposit accounts term deposit repayable jointly, when one of the depositor dies, you cannot settle the death claim to the nominee. So surviving depositor along with the legal heirs of the deceased depositor only to settle the death claim. Okay, then documents for settlement, death certificate is a must. Claim form enough 147 signed by the nominee to be okay. These things don't worry. Proof of identification of nominee like Aadhaar, driving license, and passport. Let's not worry about it now. So irrespective of the amount, a stamped receipt to be obtained from the nominee, irrespective of the amount. The last 2 points are very important. When legal heir and nominee approaches the bank, claim to be settled in favor of the nominee because nominees are the trustees of the legal heir. The last point you see, nominees are coming, legal heirs also coming. Suppose if there is a succession certificate, what do you mean by a succession certificate? Succession certificate is nothing but a legal heir certificate issued by a court. When the certificate issued by a Tahsildar, revenue officials, it is called a legal heir certificate. The same certificate issued by the court of law, it is called a succession certificate. So a deposit account is having a nomination. So depositor died, the nominee is coming. A person who is having the succession certificate is also coming. Got my point? So please understand, a depositor dies, a nomination is there, the nominee comes for you for settlement. So along with him, the succession certificate holder also comes. In that case, you have to settle only in favor of the succession certificate holder. Okay, there is succession certificate or a probate. What is a probate? A will. So the depositor has given nominee to you. But before his death, he created a will. In that will, he made somebody as the that is executor. The person named in the will is called the executor. He named somebody else to receive the deposit. That person has taken the will, got it certified by the court. The will certified by the court is called probate. So nominee comes, the probate holder also comes. So even though the nominee comes, you have to settle in favor of the probate holder only. And the third point, and then any other court, the nominee comes, a person comes with a court order restraining the bank not to give the money to the nominee. Court order should be there. A suit filed with the client. With the client, you cannot do anything. Court order should be there. So a succession certificate holder, a probate holder, and a court order holder will get precedence over the nominee. Okay, sir? Okay, good. Say this slide. So nomination exemptions. I was telling you, no. So minor's account represented by guardian is eligible for nomination. One common statement I told. In which cases they are not eligible? Minor account represented by guardian is eligible for nomination. But there are certain minors account represented by guardian is not eligible for nomination. Canara tax saver, capital gains accounts, and sovereign gold bond held in the name of a minor represented by guardian, nomination is not permitted. The guardian cannot sign the nomination form, even though there is a guardian. So if there is a Canara tax saver, capital gains accounts, and sovereign gold bond held in the name of a minor represented by guardian, nomination is not permitted. Other point, how many maximum number of nominees can be there? For a deposit account, only one nominee, individual. Locker operated jointly, more than one. Capital gains account, maximum 3 nominee. When there is more than one nominee in a capital gains account, whom you will give the money? For example, nominee 1, nominee 2, nominee 3. When all the 3 nominees are alive, you settle it fully to nominee 1. Okay, when nominee 1 is not alive, you settle the money fully to nominee 2. In that case, you have to get the depositor's death certificate as well as the nominee 1's death certificate. And nominee 1 and 2 is not there, settle fully in favor of nominee 3 by getting the deposit death certificate plus nominee 1 and nominee 2 death certificate. Okay, capital gains account, maximum 3. Payment will be to the first named nominee in that order. Proof of death of depositor and nominee to be obtained if payments are paid to second or third nominee. We got to get death certificate of the remaining 2 nominees also. Okay, then last slide. Senior citizen savings scheme, maximum number of nominees can be 4. The public provident fund account, maximum number of nominees can be 4. That is Suganya Samriddhi account scheme, maximum number of nominees can be 4. Sovereign gold bond, maximum number of nominees only 2. Minor cannot be a nominee in gold loan accounts in our bank. These are all the exemptions for nomination. So I think I have covered. Then then we'll see the questions in the next class or maybe online. Then we'll go to the settlement of death claim without nomination. So it's 1:50. So I'm winding up this session. We will see in the next session whenever the organizers will meet the session to you. So we have covered today up to integrated ombudsman scheme. Up to question number 77 we have covered. Maybe that is ice breaking, the warming session. So the little questions we are able to cover. We'll make up very fast in the next sessions onwards. Okay, sir. 77 questions we have covered in this paper. And from question number 78, we will cover in the other session. People who are online, please take a printout. It's already uploaded in the CBO website. Please take a printout and keep it with you. And whenever we discuss, when the answers are told, you can note it there. At the appropriate time, I will upload in the CBOA website questions with the answers also. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So on behalf of CBOA, I thank Mr. Jagennathan for sharing his valuable time. He is actually not well today in spite of his ill health. He has joined just for his commitment. Okay, we sincerely thank you, sir. And people are repeatedly asking about question paper answers and PowerPoint. All materials will be shared. PowerPoint I will collect from sir and I will share it in the CBOA website. Answers he usually gives at the end, because once answers are given, we will lose interest in attending the class. So purpose of sharing the answers at the end is only to make you to attend the class. We can very well give the answers now itself, but if you attend the class, beyond this answer, you can listen to his way he is covering the subject. That is why we are sharing the answers at the end of all the sessions. So thank you for understanding. We will close up for today. Afternoon, Ravikumar's session is there at 2 p.m. Sir, you want to tell me?
No.
So after 2 p.m., our Ravikumar session is there. So please join that too. Thank you.